find an interesting story, but I want to hear every single player's, you know, tragedies. I mean, it's like Survivor. I checked out of Survivor. I put my headset.
I saw a thing on Twitter a while back.
It's like a therapy session the whole time.
I follow Russell from Survivor on Twitter.
Too, yeah.
And he had like a letter.
I haven't been on.
So the season he was on with Boston Rob, there was like this letter that I think Boston Rob wrote to Russell to like talk about their game plan. And then of course Boston Rob stabs Russell in the back, and that's how that ended up. But he had the letter that Boston Rob like slipped him at camp, telling him their plan. He was selling that shit on eBay and letting people bid on it. I'm like, that's kind of cool if you're like a collector.
Right.
I wouldn't pay that much for a fucking piece of paper, but
it's not like the Russell days. It's like, let me say, I don't have nothing against nobody. You know how Jeff says, "Come on in, guys."
I hate Jeff.
I hate.
Sometimes I hate Jeff.
So he's like, "Is anybody offended if I say guys?" I said, "Okay, I'm checking out now."
People were. I listened to this wrestling podcast, and they were.
It's just a term.
They were reviewing the Stone Cold Steve Austin Broken Skull Challenge. You know that reality show where he has people do the obstacle course, and they were like, "Don't you think it's funny?" And they're like, how the producer, it's the director or whatever. They have like Stone Cold try to stir shit between the contestants on the show. He'll be like, "Why'd you come here?" And the guy's like, "I came here to win, Steve." And Steve will turn to another guy, "What do you think about that?" He said he came here to win. What do you got to say about that? And the guy's like, "I think I'm going to beat him." Steve's like, "Is that what you think? You heard what he said. He's calling you a jackass." He's like stirring shit. And I'm like,
yes.
You could tell it's just the producers being like, "Steve, stir shit between the fucking contestants.
They
We need
to do
drama."
that on Survivor. And then nobody was offended.
What's up, guys?
Oh,
I'm on, but it's fine. We just talk all day anyway. That's all we do in here is talk.
Why'd you come here? And the guy's like,
Yeah, my mic works.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Always just make sure it's working, because I don't want to wind up like last week where I couldn't stream the truck race because the internet was fucked up all day, and it wouldn't let me stream, and I streamed off my hotspot for the Xfinity race, and then I got to the end of the Cup race on the hotspot and it cut off, and I had to start like another stream with like 2 laps to go to catch the end, and I was like, whatever. But this week it's back to normal.
I mean,
yeah.
It's not dependable, that's for sure.
Our internet's usually fine. I don't know if it was because it was like we had like 3 days last week where it was so windy you couldn't even like walk straight outside, and that might have been fucking with it. Because
that would do it.
Because sometimes it'll act up for a little bit, but this was like 3 straight days where I couldn't stream. I could do anything else on the internet, but I could not live stream.
It was, yeah.
And like the quality, YouTube would load just fine, but the quality of the videos was like cut in half.
Our cable will go out. Not go out, but you'll get like blippy things if it rains like a lot.
Yeah.
The rain just, I don't know what it does.
The only thing I like about this cable is that it's usually unaffected by the weather for some reason. It's not like satellite TV where if it's fucking cloudy or TV's going to cut off. Yeah. Shit was always irritating. Kurt Busch.
Oh, there he is. I like him.
I was really blown away by men and women who have come back from service.
Yeah, Janet's actually here.
In person. Live.
Get established and reintegrate back into civilian life.
It's funny, Dylan yesterday puts in my stream, "I'm here," and I'm like, "You mean in my stream or outside my house?" Oh, he's actually outside my house.
They love racing. Racing is an escape for them. But when did it first hit you that you were like, I want to be part of this and give back?
It was actually there at that event. You're just here to get your photo taken. I said, you know what? Take my phone number. I said, when you get out of here, when you get better.
Kurt Busch is like a different person now. He used to be like
You're gonna come
I remember when he
crazy.
For Rubbermaid.
Yeah.
Rubberhead. I have an old.
Waldo, before he had the plastic surgery to fix his ears, everybody called him Waldo.
Men and women out there. But this weekend at Richmond,
Hey, Michael.
500 of them.
It's just fun to have that group of people rooting for you, but
So I see comments. I always have it on my phone so I can see my comments.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have to use the computer just to stream everything. Last week it was fucked up. I needed my phone for the hotspot, so I had to have like the comments open right here and that open over here.
Provided by Goodyear for those that push the limits and possibility. Goodyear.
This shit better work today. It's working right now.
Free chance at Clint's money. Scan the QR code, download the FoxBet Super 6 app.
I got to remember to print my tickets off this week
That's right.
before I go to Martinsville.
Yeah, you gotta do some shots and upload them.
Yeah. I did that at Bristol last year, and people fucking hated that. People got mad at me because I was making fun of all the racist people that were like saying shit about Bubba Wallace, and I'm like, look, it's true. They're saying racist shit. I was here. I heard it. Get mad about it. And people got mad at me for calling them out on it.
Now for the famous words we want to hear.
Okay, If Logano wins, I get $26. If Briscoe wins, I get $34.
Nice.
Yeah. This is such a good year to bet on long shots because the new car has made like the B-level NASCAR teams competitive. So that's why like Ross Chastain won last week. Briscoe's won already. Austin Cindric, who's a rookie. There's 3 first-time winners in the first 6 races.
I like that.
Yeah. The new car has brought most of the big teams back to the smaller teams.
That's what I like.
Yeah. That's why the racing's been so good.
Okay.
Daniel Suarez almost won a race.
See, that's kind of why I lost interest for a long time.
Yeah. It was an arms race. It was money. And it was like competitive among the top teams, but you knew if you didn't drive for Hendrick, Stewart Haas, Penske, or Gibbs, you ain't going to win unless something fucked up happens. Yeah. So out of like 36 cars, you could say about 14 or 15 really had a shot at winning.
I remember when they would have to come in to qualify.
No prop bets on DraftKings? That's lame.
Why?
I don't know. But they let us just pick the winner, I guess. Greg Biffle's racing today. Yeah, Biffle's been back part-time this year.
Well, yeah, I just remember when it was competitive. It was, I mean, you'd have qualifying and they would send people.
Oh my
home.
God, I watched a video about the 1993 Daytona 500. 75 cars showed up to Daytona. They had to send home like 33 fucking people.
like
and I'm like, that's crazy. And nobody was guaranteed. Theoretically, it's like if Earnhardt doesn't qualify, Dale Earnhardt could have got sent home. They didn't have. I understand why they were, after a while, they're like, okay, the big sponsors put pressure on NASCAR. We want to guarantee that our car is going to be in the race if we're going to sponsor this car. So it became, okay, the top 35 in points are automatically locked in. Yeah. And then it became, okay, just the top 30. And then when they started the chase or the playoffs, whatever, remember it was like the top 10 make it. Well, the sponsors were like, hey, our guy's in 12th place and we don't feel like we're getting enough exposure. Okay, so the playoffs are 12 guys now. And the other sponsors, hey, motherfucker, like, okay, now 16 people make the fucking playoffs. So it looks good for their sponsors. Kyle Busch, both of his trucks that he owns in the Truck Series missed the Truck Series playoffs. So the next year they expanded the playoffs to 12 trucks. It was just 10. They moved it to 12. And I said, that's because Kyle Busch's trucks missed it the previous year. And the sponsors were like, we want our fucking trucks in there.
Money.
Yeah. When Jeff Gordon tried to kill Clint Boyer at Phoenix, he should have been suspended. But the sponsors were like, hey, don't take Jeff Gordon out of our car.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We won't take Jeff. And then Jeff won the next week, which I think is hilarious because he should have been suspended, and then he went and won the next week.
Yep.
So that's just a part of it. And the drivers talk about that's just part of it. Like, we accept it. We deal with it. Would it be more exciting if you didn't know who was going to make the race? Yeah.
It was. That's what I liked back then.
The Daytona 500. The Daytona 500 would be so much better because, you know, they have the qualifying races. But now it's like, okay, so 36 cars are now guaranteed in. And there's like 7 or 8 that showed up, and only 4 of those 8 can make it. And in qualifying, the 2 fastest of those are now locked in. So you go into the qualifying race with 38 cars locked in and only 2 open spots left for the other. It's like, come on.
Yeah. This guy, he did NASCAR on a lower level. Sometimes he would do like New Hampshire and stuff, but he was from Connecticut, and he would go to qualify at New Hampshire or Pocono, wherever. Ted Christopher.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He died. He got killed in a crash, but yeah, he's from Connecticut. He'd go around for qualify. He'd try to qualify. Sometimes he wouldn't make it and stuff, but so little teams could go and at least try to qualify. Now that I don't feel that's the case.
Yeah. Chad's in the booth today. Caden, you picked Truex. That, I mean, in this season, I'd say that's a risk. I don't think Biffle's going to get a top 25. I just think that car is too slow. See, it didn't make like the bottom level teams great, but the new car took like the B teams and made them competitive with the. Because every week now, Richard Childress Racing and Trackhouse Racing and Brad Daugherty's car are like running top 10 and able to beat a Hendrick car. And I'm like, these cars are a lot more equal than they were the last couple of years. The last 15 years, really, they're a lot more equal.
Yeah, I mean,
and part of it is the way they're built. The teams have to put the cars together and build the engines, but every part on that car is made by the same company, and they supply them to all the teams. And Brad Keselowski and Roush's team just got penalized because they fucked with one of the parts. It's like, you don't fuck with the parts now because NASCAR wants these cars as equal as they can be.
Coach, I've been working on my strategy all week long, but I have to keep adjusting that strategy.
I love Larry Mack, but he's hardly in the booth anymore because he don't want to travel. So he's in Charlotte right now doing that.
Oh, so
He stays in the studio in Charlotte.
Okay.
Is make a green flag stop, get burnt by a caution, because that one, Mike, will take your good day and make it go bad.
Probably about 7 years old.
Yeah.
All right, field is on.
I can see where he wants to not travel anymore.
I remember a couple weeks ago at Phoenix with 5 laps to go, the top 4 were all guys that had never won before. And then Chase Briscoe won his first race, and I was like, damn, the whole top 4 was guys who had never won. You wouldn't have seen that the last couple of years.
No, I just, yeah, I had lost interest.
Well, the first thing I did is I got a bottle of baby powder out and I put it on the bottom of my shoe because I feel like the bottom of my shoe is going to get wore out today trying to take care of those powders.
Kevin Harvick, still a dickhead.
Yeah.
Ford Mustang has done a good job all weekend, and you know how this place is. No tires, no go.
Absolutely, man. Nobody manages it better than you. Your car was good yesterday. I want to wish you luck. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Kevin Harvick will roll off 7th. Here's your Toyota Owners 400 starting grid. Ryan Blaney won the pole yesterday, his 3rd of the season, and William Byron has his best Richmond start. Kyle Busch, 6-time Richmond.
The 43 car runs good again because of the new car. And you know how the 43 has sucked for years. And it's good again. He almost won. Eric Jones in the 43 almost won a few weeks ago at California.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he ended up finishing 3rd. It's like, I was like, when is the last time the 43 car showed up to a normal racetrack and led laps and finished 3rd?
Joey Logano and Cole Custer in row 6. The field will scroll across the bottom of your screen as we get down to pit road and Jamie Little.
Well, Mike, a year ago, Alex Bowman drove from deep in the field to win his first
wants to
career
win,
short
Dale?
track race.
Chase Briscoe and Joey Logano. Yeah, I know, it sucked. Yeah, unfortunately.
Alright.
Briscoe pays more, so I'm cheering for Briscoe and the 14.
I want Kurt Busch because I like him, but for the money, we'll go for Briscoe.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, there's a couple tracks that Chase Briscoe has felt lost at over his Cup career. One of them being Richmond, the other being Phoenix. Phoenix a couple weeks ago, Chase managed.
Yeah, Michael, Todd Gilliland's done better in the 38 than anybody else has done in the last, I'd say, 15 fucking years, but that's not saying much.
Very good about their chances of improving on his career best 16th.
But Gilliland doesn't wreck, and he finishes every week.
Look at today's race analysis. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. 400 laps.
It's the last you'll see of me for 2 weeks as far as Cup races go, because I'm going to the next 2. I'll do the truck race on Thursday, but after that, I'll be gone.
You're leaving Friday, right?
Yeah, and the truck race is Thursday night, so.
Gonna go green next time by. As the all-new 3
And there's a truck race at Bristol. I won't be there for that, so I'll stream that too. But I won't be doing a Cup or Xfinity race for the next 2 weeks.
Both due to inspection issues, and they will do a pass-through after they take the green flag
Biffle.
on the racetrack.
Okay.
Pass through down pit road at pit road speed. And the
Justin Haley and Greg Biffle will have to go down pit road at the start of the race.
Austin Cindric's car.
So Biffle's going to get a head start on where he'd be running anyway. Just the list of guys who have almost won this year is insane to me.
I like that. I like how they've done that. How you're talking.
The cars are much better now, just how they drive, too. They're not so aero-dependent. Like, you actually have to go out and drive them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So they got the new car right.
Yeah, I like to see competitive, you know. I like that.
Michael, do you know if Kyle Busch is in the truck race at Martinsville? I really hope not.
Front 4 single file. Martin Truex to the outside of Eric Jones for 5th. Ryan
I like Harvick's car. Ever since I started buying those, I see cool cars, and I'm like, I want that car. And Harvick's got one I really want. Hey, Ozzy.
See if they have it when you go to Martinsville.
Oh, God, they'll be like $200, some of those. The newer cars are the more expensive ones.
Really?
Yeah. Some of the older ones are, but you can find deals on older cars usually.
So just take care of your stuff and let's get through this first stage.
Yeah, and that's why you see these guys trying to sort it out. And what I mean by that,
There's no caution for anything today, right?
as quick as possible, so you can start that process of managing those rear tires.
Logano's gained 2 spots. Briscoe's still running where he started. We're okay.
To the inside.
Where's my man Kurt?
Oh, Kyle Busch is going for second.
Oh gosh, Kurt is in 28.
Through 3 and 4, trying to get
Kurt runs bad with his new team, but they seem to finish really well. They're getting better finishes than what they run.
And look at the gain.
Well, that's good.
Massive gain off of turn 4.
So I hope he comes in second.
I don't know. Depending on who it is, I'm like, I'll give up the money for this guy to win. Depending on who it is. Like if Logano gets fucked over at the end, I'll still laugh, even though I don't get any money.
Oh, I know.
Blaney, Byron, and Kyle Busch pulled away from Briscoe.
But then they start coming in, and then immediately, almost immediately, you start pacing
I don't think I've ever heard that from Cloud.
managing the run.
Yeah. Everybody says he's a cool dude, but he drives for like one of the worst teams. They just don't have the budget.
Is he new?
He's been running for a few years.
Who would have thought the 6 races into the season, the 3 names we'd be saying most would be Briscoe, Chastain, and Suarez. What a start to this season. It's been all over the place.
If somebody's going to win for the first time today, it's going to be Tyler Reddick.
You know, Chastain and their win, the Trackhouse racing, his teammate Daniel Swift.
Tyler Reddick or Suarez, but I like Reddick.
Biffle's already a lap down.
Yeah, Biffle had to serve a penalty at the start of the race because of some pre-race inspection problem.
Okay.
Truex just passed my guy for 4th. It's early.
I do 100%. I watched that car in practice. I went down to turns 1 and 2, and I watched them roll through the center of that corner.
Truex runs average everywhere. Kurt Busch has got a problem.
Things beating back and forth. I have a tire done.
I think Kurt's got a tire down. Or is it a... Oh, he's got some kind of engine problem. It's an engine problem. It's not a tire problem.
That's probably why he was
Okay,
wiggling it.
Briscoe, go. Go, Briscoe.
Bush looking outside.
Get off the track, Kurt. I don't know if he's going to make it back.
Shouldn't be. Shouldn't be. Not at this point.
God, that's so dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
He might not make it back.
Cycle the car back on these.
So what happens now if somebody comes off turn 2 and spins out and wrecks into Kurt Busch while he's barely moving?
All the back straight away.
Caution, caution. They threw a caution.
The first caution of the day.
Yeah, he's not going to make it to the pits.
See, we all talked about setting the set.
Blaney, Byron, Kyle Busch, Truex, Briscoe, Haley, and Biffle are a lap down. I think Haley gets the free pass. That's good for Haley and Biffle. Well, not good for Biffle. He ain't going to get his lap back yet.
So let's listen to what happened here.
The new cars, it's so hard to damage them. They're hard to drive, but these cars will hit the wall and not have a scratch on them. It's crazy how they've built them.
Trying to see
Because the old car, that last car that they ran for the last 8 years, is like the worst thing to ever happen in NASCAR. It was a piece of shit. And those cars would like barely touch and your fucking tire would explode. These cars, they can beat the shit out of them. It doesn't leave a mark on them. Yeah.
I like that.
marks for those guys.
Like Ryan Blaney spun last week, backed into the wall, and then went back out and won the pole in the same car in qualifying. I was like, these cars are fucking amazing. They don't budge. I'm 5th and 10th.
I'm going to the pits.
We all wanted Kurt to do
I'm
good.
going to the garage.
Yeah.
Kurt is going to the garage.
10 laps in, you're out.
Yeah.
We all wanted Kurt to do good, Karen. Oh, hey, Denny.
So I guess I'll go with Chase Briscoe.
Oh, hey, Chris. Have you harassed Dave Moody lately? Dave Moody's the fucking radio host for Sirius NASCAR, and I got Chris to call him and ask the dumbest fucking question. Because Dave Moody's a fucking jackass, and I don't know how, Chris, I don't know how you got through to him, but the question I suggested that Chris ask was, do you think NASCAR is going to face any backlash and get canceled by cancel culture because they referred to Denny Hamlin as Bubba Wallace's owner?
Oh.
And the good Dave Moody thought he was being serious. Oh, come on. Why would you ask something like that? Yep. R.I.P. Kurt. So, we talked wrestling on here yesterday. Did y'all watch and see how badass WrestleMania was the first night? I don't know how they top it. I guarantee everybody that's got a match tonight was watching last night going, Jesus.
Yeah, well, hopefully they own up to it.
I love wrestlers get mad when the match before them is great. Like, they're happy for them, but they're like, God damn it, I got to follow that. I remember there was like an NXT where Bayley and Sasha Banks had this fucking 35-minute classic. It was like the greatest women's match ever. Killed it. Just fucking rocked. And there's backstage footage of them coming to the back, and Kevin Owens is just like, because his match was after that, and he like hugged both of them, but he was visibly just like, motherfucker, how do I live up to that? Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 had like the greatest match of all time, and Triple H was like throwing shit. Like, are you serious? Like, I gotta go after that now. Fuck you. Like, they said he was so mad. And then, of course, his match with Randy Orton sucked. I mean, it wasn't like horrible, but compared to Shawn and Undertaker, it was bad.
Yes.
Jericho says that's no fun to be in that spot because Jericho versus Triple H at WrestleMania 18 is the main event. Well, the match before that was The Rock versus Hulk Hogan, and they went 30 minutes and just rocked it.
Yeah, and you feel like a loser.
And the crowd just didn't give a fuck about Jericho and Triple H at that point. And he said it was miserable. They were both just like, this fucking sucks. For the main event of WrestleMania, we're not happy. Hey, Dylan. That's Janet.
Hey.
How are you?
I got Briscoe and Logano.
Top 5 right now.
Yeah, and Kurt Busch just blew up on like lap 10.
I was wondering what
Yeah, I usually hear Dylan on here.
Yeah.
On the stream.
Yeah.
Are you watching the streams?
Yeah.
Now, surprisingly,
Football and...
a bunch of cars led
Have you ever
by
heard
Kyle
about
Larson
the
came to
chaos
the
of
road.
NASCAR when
Yeah,
Dylan
with
was
only
riding this
9
running?
laps on the track.
That's
Oh,
how I felt. That's
yeah.
literally how I felt. I walk into the store to them going, the green flag is out, and I come out, and we're under caution. I was like,
Every time Dylan leaves, something seems to happen.
Oh, something good happened.
Yeah.
I wish you had
football
left.
was insane.
The Chargers were beating the Steelers by like 27, and he left, and then it was like within 5 minutes, it's tied. I was like,
I got home expecting the game to be over.
and the Steelers were leading.
Yeah, the Steelers up 3, and I was like,
What's happened here? I especially tune in when it's Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I hate them. I can't.
They said Ronda Rousey was mad that her match didn't go last. Well, I watched her fucking match. I'm glad that didn't go last because she stunk it up. All right, Denny, I'll see y'all later.
Haley, who got the free pass, and Biffle. Ryan Blaney is your leader. He has led every race this season.
Blaney has led every race this year.
Kurt Busch is already out. That's what I was rooting for, Dylan.
oh, that's unfortunate.
Ooh, Ross. Ross just went 3 wide under Jones and Bell. Still 3 wide. I couldn't believe it. I heard Kevin Harvick pay Ross Chastain a compliment yesterday, and I thought he hated Ross. A lot of guys don't like Ross in that garage because he drives like, you know. He might win again.
The new Larson.
I didn't want to bet on the same guy back-to-back. For some reason, that bugs me. If I bet on the same guy back-to-back, I feel like I'm cheating because he's going to win eventually. I got him last week. I did get Ross last time. That was the second time I bet on him, but not in a row. I don't think it was in a row. None of the Hendrick cars qualified worth the shit except Byron's the only one that qualified good. I got to find that YouTube clip and play it at this race a couple years ago. There was a debris caution for a towel on the track. And they go, there's a towel. And Jeff Gordon goes, somebody threw in the towel. They all started cracking up. I started laughing too. I'm like, what a horrible joke, but that's funny.
Let's get to about lap 30.
And then they were talking about how the drivers' feet will get blistered in the car, so some of them wear those like silver things over their shoes to protect their feet.
Oh, yeah.
And they're called booties. And Darrell Waltrip goes, "You got to shake that booty." And it gets dead quiet, and they don't say anything for like 30 seconds. And Mike Joy just goes, "Joey Logano's your leader."
Who's the guy that always laughs like,
Alan Bestwick. We were talking about him yesterday. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, God. I miss Alan Bestwick, though. Ha, ha, ha.
He kills it. But he laughs.
That's just where they qualify. He qualified around there. He just ain't moving. I forgot AJ was driving the 16 today. For some reason, I didn't think AJ was in this race. I thought he was only doing road courses. But AJ's in this race. Do I think Ty Gibbs is dirty or aggressive? Desperate. Ty Dillon is desperate. He's not dirty or aggressive. He's just desperate, trying to save his career.
You're rooting for Bowman.
We root for Bowman because when he wins, it's usually because something dumb happens.
Okay.
The straight drive up off of these corners.
But
Really
Bowman
interesting
was my
thing
pick
about Richmond that I've noticed
I
over
just-
the years is
I don't know.
when you race during the
Sometimes
day,
I
if you've
get
got a lot of
good
sunshine
feeling.
on the track,
That's how to pick him.
Oh, I don't know why I said Ty Dillon. Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is borderline. He's hypocritical because he races a little dirty, and then if you do it to him, he fucking whines about it.
Well, you heard him yesterday. He owes me one.
Yeah, as long as he knows it. He better not bitch when it happens.
crossover move.
William did it on the bottom. Now Kyle goes to the inside.
It was borderline what he did yesterday. Like, at least he didn't wreck him, but when you just drive through somebody to make the corner,
I mean, and he admitted to it.
yeah,
Literally, which I was glad.
especially a teammate, that's kind of shitty.
Ty Gibbs lovers could say he didn't do it on purpose. He admitted it.
Junior always talked about his least favorite person to race was Jimmy Johnson because he felt more pressure to not race him hard because it was his teammate, and you don't want to touch your teammate. Of course, that didn't stop Carl Edwards from slamming Kyle Busch out of the way here about 6 years ago.
Oh, the USFL's starting.
Hooray. You know how we know it'll be a success is because you know who's not involved this time like he was in the 80s.
I like when they brought the XFL back.
And it was doing well. The XFL was doing well.
I was watching the XFL. I like
And then COVID happened and just
Yeah.
shit on everything.
We don't get it anymore, but I like the CFL, the Canadian football.
Yeah, if Ty is going to dish it out, he better be like Ross Chastain because Ross dishes it out and then he takes it and goes, "I had it coming." Because I've heard him, he got into it with Allgaier in Xfinity a couple years ago. He spun him and Allgaier wrecked him and he was like, "Whatever, I hit him first. It's cool."
It's a process,
Yeah.
and Chad, you alluded to it. It's a frustrating process. You start to pass, you get underneath the guy, and if he hangs on your door out there,
Cindric Keselowski's moved up too.
your momentum because you need that real estate to
Michael, who did you pick?
get the momentum.
And just like we saw right there, what that allowed the 8 car to do is run up on the back of those guys. But look at this battle.
Oh, look, another Hendrick car that Kyle Busch can't pass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he loves it.
But look at the run. See diamonds in straighten that corner up. All about keeping that car straight under the throttle. Jamie, at lap 8, Kurt Busch went behind the wall. Have they made any progress?
Yeah, they've actually taken him
Blaney
to
was
the
on
garage
pole.
so that the
Yeah.
engine had stumbled and
Blaney's led every lap.
And since it's mechanical, they can take all the time they want to try and
So Kurt Busch has a fun day ahead of him. I'm going to get back out there 50 laps down and try not to get in the way. Drivers hate that shit. They would rather junk their car and risk getting hurt to avoid having to go back out there and run around multiple laps down. And with the way the point system is now, it is pointless because all that matters is, have you won a race this year? Okay, you're good. Just go home and get out of the way. But if you haven't won a race, it's like, we got to get all the points we can get back out there, and that sucks. Briscoe's fading. He's got a whole stack of cars. Briscoe's fading, but Logano's getting better. So, like Thanos said, a soul for a soul. I didn't want to pick Blaney because he had the best odds, and his pit crew sucks.
You think Kyle or Joey will finish better?
Joey. Even though Kyle's running really good right now.
And Kevin Harvick has caught that group, making a 5-some. I think
Oh, I'll never. Ty Gibbs is a great driver. But, yeah, we know how he got his job and why he's there, and he can literally do no wrong. It doesn't matter if he goes out and wrecks the whole field. He ain't going nowhere. He'll be here for life. Thank God Austin Cindric stopped being a dickhead, because Austin Cindric's dad is the president of Team Penske. He runs the team. And Cindric in the Truck Series was tearing shit up, wrecking people, wrecking himself. He got in the Xfinity Series, did the same thing, but then he got better and got really good, and now he's one of my favorite drivers. And I'm like, I'm glad I like him because we're stuck with him for life because he's always going to have a job. So if you're going to get an opportunity because of who you are, you better be good or you're going to face a lot of shit.
That's true.
That's why I defend Chase Elliott. People give Chase Elliott shit, but I'm like, yeah, but he's actually good. He's like a really good driver. I got a problem with guys like Austin Dillon, who's going to have a job for life, even though he ain't worth a shit. He's like just another average guy, but he's going to be around as long as he wants to be because his grandpa owns the fucking team.
Exactly.
And then he's going to run the team one day. I'd be willing to bet when Richard Childress dies, Austin Dillon.
Oh, I can't wait.
They'll just call it RCR.
No, I can't wait for
Yeah.
Dillon, though. I can give his shirt says Dillon Motorsports.
CDR, Childress Dillon Racing or
At
some
least
shit.
He spells it different for me.
Yeah.
That's how stupid he is.
Well, if he spelled it the same as you, I would have it legally changed if I were you, because I'd be ashamed.
Well, my brother's name's Austin. So
Oh.
that's why we always have a fun time with Austin Dillon.
Too many Austins.
He's got 2 first names.
And in NASCAR, there's too many Austins, Chases, and Ties. Used to be a bunch of Dales. It was a lot of Dales back in the day.
Chase is in 2 multi-name categories.
Yeah.
He's 2 Chases, 3 Williams.
Yeah. William, Chase, Ryan, Ty, and Austin. That's like the new NASCAR driver name. What's that fucking song from back in the day? There was like a NASCAR country song about it. Was a.
Oh, the Earnhardt.
My name is Dale, Darrell, Waltrip, Gordon, Earnhardt, Johnson, Smith, Petty, or some shit. Like some guy was so obsessed with. It's a joke about how a guy like named his kid after all these NASCAR. Let me Google that. What was
They
that
played
shit?
that at the local dirt track now.
Oh,
Every
really?
week
So
at
of
Barron
course.
Speedway.
Oh my god.
That's why I know what you're talking about, but I can't. He sings it so fast I can't remember.
Darrell. Well, I'm just gonna Google. Yeah. That's it. The name of the song is. Fuck. It's so long you can't even see the fucking title of the song.
Dale, Darrell, Waltrip, Richard Petty.
Yeah. He said his mom named him Dale, Darrell, Waltrip, Richard Petty, Rusty, Awesome Bill, Irvin, Gordon, Earnhardt, Smith, Johnson Jr.
Junior.
Oh, and in the song, he says, my name is Dale, Darrell Waltrip, Awesome Bill, Irvin, Gordon, Earnhardt, Smith, and then there's a pause, and he goes, Johnson Jr. It's fucking stupid. And then there was, that song, I Love This Bar. That same guy did I Love NASCAR, where he rewrote the song with, like, NASCAR lyrics.
The official credit card of NASCAR.
We're talking about anything but the race, just because Blaney's dominating right now, and it's Richmond.
Lindsay tripped me out last night, though. When she turned on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
She goes, I forgot to do my draft. And I was like,
For WrestleMania. Imagine if they actually took bets on fucking predetermined wrestling. That'd be great.
She said, yeah, it's free. I was like, free? I don't know what she was talking
Dude,
about.
if I was on WWE Creative and they took bets on wrestling, I'd be like, oh shit, yeah. It's like insider trading. Good God, 17 people at once? Yeah.
The more in the room, the more in the viewer.
Yeah. The Chases hit each other. Chase, you're going to cost me money. Okay, they're fine. Them cars are fine. Used to, that would be devastating. You would get a tire rub off of that.
Weird seeing that gap
Yeah.
under the front of the car.
That's made a huge difference, too, to how the cars drive. I said what have I said for the last 7 years? Get those motherfuckers up off the ground so air can get under them.
They went from pushing somebody to running over somebody.
Briscoe's not even in the top 10 now. Bowman's close if he's passing Briscoe. Bowman's 14th. He just passed Briscoe for 14th.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Brad's a legend. Yeah, go ahead and put him in.
They went to just pushing people to,
Run him out of the way.
yeah.
Well, if you want to see guys get run out of the way, watch the Truck Series. Every fucking week, guys are hitting each other and just wrecking each other.
Oh, I'm excited for trucks at Sonoma.
Yeah.
Something like that is
Yeah, there's a truck race at Sonoma this year. Yeah.
So we've been green since about lap 14.
Blaney, Byron, Bush, Chastain, Truex.
Do that tandem tango.
At Daytona and Talladega, because the cars because they called it the 2-car tandem or 2-car tango, like whatever, and it was because that body of car was the first time where the back bumper lined up perfectly with the front, and they could attach together, and they would go from going like 190 to going like 210 when they hooked together, and it was the most annoying shit ever.
Oh, he has to get, his tango going with
Yeah,
whoever.
and if you didn't have a draft partner, you were fucked.
Yes. Yeah.
Junior said he hated that shit.
Yeah, it was awful.
I like Chase's car today. I like that one. That's better than that fucking Lumar car he was
Oh, yeah,
driving.
it ain't hideous.
Doesn't have the fucking bright blue number 9 on it with the orange. We do need radioactive for trucks, but hell, you couldn't play half of it on TV, I'm sure. See you at the Applebee's.
I get a cheeseburger after this race.
Trying to make a move and get yourself in position. Maybe.
Brad Keselowski's 11th.
Yeah.
He started like 18th or something. He's 11th.
I said, put him in, take him out back.
Jones and Briscoe fell off hard, but Hamlin and Keselowski and Harvick are doing really well.
Is it wrong for me to hope Brad gets docked another 100 points after this race?
It might get overturned, some of that penalty, because they're appealing it.
I think they should cut it. Like, I think
100 points is pretty fucking. 100 points is pretty harsh for a team that ain't running worth a shit anyway.
pretty much like their season gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, as bad as they've been running for sure. Because David Reagan has only ran 2 races or whatever, and he's ahead of Brad in points now after the penalty.
Brad, with the position Brad's in, he's one of the people that can win a race and not make it.
Yeah.
Until the caterers and everybody get their radios fired up when the race is ready to start, you have no idea if somebody's going to be on your channel.
You are 100% accurate in that. And
Briscoe might end up a lap down by the end of the stage.
Everybody's got a scanner, everybody's got a radio, people are trying to talk to one another. It gets really
I blew it today,
Walk in here on
but with the lack of practice, and it's so hard to pick races.
cell phones are hard to like dial
I
out,
will
get
always
messages,
know.
all that.
Probably.
Radios, you start
Hell, he won last year.
not uncommon.
Yeah. Yeah, they haven't gotten rid of New Hampshire yet.
Kyle Larson moving up.
Although rumor is New Hampshire might be one of the next racetracks that goes. I think New Hampshire, Pocono, and Dover are at risk of losing.
Pocono's the reason I ain't played NASCAR 14. It's my next race in my career. I just don't want
I suck at Pocono in that game.
Pocono, Sonoma, Michigan. I was like, ugh.
You get to Michigan, you'll be so happy.
I run Michigan setup in Talladega.
But to be able to have the maneuverability,
That's literally the setup in that
move
game.
around like he's doing right there,
Run
get
Michigan
an angle,
setup.
and pass somebody.
I bet that works at like Charlotte too.
Do you stream Dylan?
In stage
No.
one,
I don't have the personality for it.
I don't either, but I do it anyway.
Really?
People always ask me, "Why don't you do face cam?" I'm like, I got a face for radio. It's best you just
Oh,
listen to me
stop
talk.
Well, see, I think I'm more of like the side guy.
Yeah.
Like that guy that just makes the comments.
Yeah.
Like if I was in Dale's seat and didn't have the person sitting beside me, I would sit there and not know what to say. I'd be like,
You ever seen Dodgeball?
Yeah, I gotcha.
You ever seen the movie Dodgeball? You're like the guy sitting next to the announcer going, "That's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll have to see if it pays off."
I gotcha, yeah. I think I would be the same though because I'm not good with the words don't flow from my mouth. You know what I mean? Like
I struggle with that. The English language is a constant battle.
I'm not good with explaining or
Ricky
you
Gallagher
know
sure is.
Look at once again, we got
a split screen.
God Suarez is 23rd.
Yeah, Ricky just got into it.
God, all the underdogs that have been running good this year running like shit, except for Chastain and Reddick. And Eric Jones, he's 12th, but God, he was top 5.
Yep, right here. You can show that.
Stenhouse almost killed Suarez. Yeah,
Ugh. Dumb question. Is this the first short track of the year?
yeah, technically. I mean,
What was the other one besides this one?
allegedly Phoenix, but people argue all the time, is it a short track?
Like
Yeah.
racing wise, I'm thinking
Yeah.
racing wise.
Oh, well, the Coliseum, but that doesn't count.
Guys that are struggling.
Yeah. The Coliseum, but that doesn't count because that was just a clash.
I watched that one.
No, you were here.
I don't remember.
The Clash
Like,
to Coliseum?
That race sucked, dude. Like,
Because Joey Logano won. That's probably why you forgot it. Because there will be races. I have a good memory about this stuff.
You do.
And I'll be
wow.
thinking back of like, who the fuck won that race? And then I'll go look and it'll say like Joey Logano. I'm like, oh, that's why I forgot because as soon as it was over, I
every
turned the
race
shit
we've
off.
Been to, like most of the time, I can tell you about them except for the ones Truex won. Because I
Really?
worry so much about. Damn, he's won a lot of the races I've been to.
if there's a race, I can't remember who won. Somebody shitty won, and I didn't watch post-race or nothing. I was like, oh, whatever, race over, time to move on.
I'll never forget Blaney at the Roval. I'll never forget Larson at the 600, and I will never in my life forget Kyle Busch at the 600.
Yeah.
Nobody will forget that.
Yeah, for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
That race
was
sucked.
The most boring. Kevin Harvick hits the wall. Race over. Like lap 20.
Oh, yeah, because the only two competitive cars were Busch and Harvick. Now, I got excited because when Harvick hit the wall, I said, 1 down, 1 to go. I was like, if something happens to Kyle Busch, this race is going to be crazy. But then Kyle just led the next 300 fucking laps and put everybody to sleep. Keep in mind, like I said, they were in the midst of driving the single worst race car in NASCAR history for the last 9 years until this year.
As you saw, Ricky Stenhouse made the pass on Daniel Swan.
I can't believe we haven't seen any kids today.
Displeasure here.
They showed some They showed some yesterday. Not as many because the race went green for almost all days. They didn't have time.
Having cleared.
Briscoe's going to get fucking lapped.
Now earlier, Chase Briscoe,
What happened to
while
him?
battling Chase
He's got a
Elliott,
car problem?
I think it's just handling.
and Regan
Some cars, they take off and they look good and then they just fall apart.
Yeah.
The unfortunate part for Chase right now is there's nothing wrong with that car from that contact. The issues he's having is it's just a very tight race car right now.
Oh, God, I hate tight cars. Tight car on a short track. Tight car on a short track blows.
Continues to get worse
Yeah.
and worse, and it compounds as you go. The crew chief right now, he's thinking, man, let's.
Chastain just passed Kyle Busch for third.
And that's a hard thing to fix. Then you start freeing the
Chastain went from having no wins to the last month. He's finished third, second, third, first.
That shows you.
Yeah.
It's more.
It's more competitive now. And he had always been good. Like, you could tell he was good. He just didn't have the car to do it.
Kyle's getting too tight.
Kyle's got to be happy as hell. It's the longest that I think Gibbs is running the top 5 all year with him and Truex.
place right here.
Yeah.
Joe Logano, Chase Elliott.
Keselowski's top 10.
With 10 to go in stage 1, Malaria
That view almost looks like a game.
strategy.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like a video game.
remember, those 2 stages.
Well,
I know you don't know.
oh yeah, the newest NASCAR game looks good, but it's the worst pile of shit you could ever fucking play.
That's all they do. They make it look good.
I'm so glad I didn't buy it.
We like the old crappy looking stuff that plays good.
I play my PS2. Yeah.
They knew what they was doing back then.
Now they're trying to be
They were ahead of their time.
realistic.
Those old games have such attention to detail because at Atlanta back in the day, a car would come off of turn 4 and fly by the car on the inside. If you're at Atlanta in that game and you let somebody get side by side, if you're running out against the wall, your car just goes shoom and takes off just like it did back in the day at that point. Now, my little details like that they had in those old games.
Now they just want it to look good.
Yeah.
Great run for the 6-car of Kes-
What did somebody just wake up one day and say, we all forgot how to make NASCAR games? Because the company that used to make them was EA Sports, and every NASCAR game up until 2007 was good. And then overnight, they were just like, oh, we don't know how to make NASCAR games no more. They're terrible now.
Larson in 15.
Probably took the money made for that game and put it towards something else.
I think he can.
Custer just got lapped, and I'm pretty sure that Briscoe's not far ahead. There's 6 laps till the next caution.
And they only made that one run in practice. They went out there and just said, look, we're going to run this practice out, get a feel for our race car.
I love when they have Chad Canales or Tony Stewart in the booth because that brings Clint Boyer's stupid ass down to a bearable level.
Until today, it's just all part of this topsy-turvy season that we're having so
I don't
far.
know if he's topsy or tersy, but I'm telling you, that car.
It's not a surprise. Blaney was the favorite, but they'll lose the race on pit road.
Nobody, in my opinion, has rise to the occasion better than Ryan Blaney.
Jamie.
He used to be Turvey, but today.
I think it's Blaney's day, but he was the favorite, so I didn't bet on him.
That's his crew chief there, Jonathan Hassler. He told me they ran that 45-lap run yesterday in practice, and Blaney got out of the car. His focus was managing those tires, and he said, I need to do a better job. I'm going to start at the drop.
Wish they'd move that fucking ticker down so I could see where Briscoe's at in relation to Blaney.
Not only is he leading, Jamie, he is
Not far. I think Haley and Briscoe were the next 2 cars in front of Blaney.
Bubba, Todd Gilbert.
Oh, then Briscoe. Okay.
Christopher Bell. This is for 6.
They'll make it. Okay, Briscoe's not going to get lapped in 3 laps.
Consistently making fast lap time throughout So me as a crew chief,
I wish I hated Chase Elliott so I could call him Cross-Eyed Clyde, because that's what people that don't like him call him, Cross-Eyed Clyde.
I'm like, okay, buddy, here's what
Because his name is William Clyde Elliott, Chase Elliott, and there was fucking Cross-Eyed Clyde.
that's what the fast guys are doing. Getting ready to come to the stage end right now. Pits are closed.
Allmendinger's slow on the front stretch.
Starts to happen.
Allmendinger's slow on the front stretch.
So 70 laps coming
I like how they're not talking about it.
None of the drivers
Yep, lap 69.
12 tires are going to be in the top 10 and score points here.
In 5 laps, they're going, oh, AJ Allmendinger's slow there.
I told you guys, start of the race. That's going to be one to
Fox will give you motion sickness the way they zoom in. Another big complaint this year, instead of like having the camera where you can see shit, they go, whoa. It's like, wow, I can see the wheel of that car.
Chad, you're exactly right. I like that.
Somebody took NASCAR racing on the PC and modded it and said, point of view, you're watching a NASCAR race on Fox. They have the camera going, zooming in.
That's funny. I wish I could be clever like that.
Yeah.
Stage wins this season. Most of all,
Blaney just won stage 1. By the way, WWE's full of shit. They're like, WrestleMania starts at 6:30. And I said, I bet that's pre-show. When does it actually start? 8 o'clock. And I'm like, pfft. So we're not going to miss the start of WrestleMania today. I thought we might when I thought it was going to start at like 7 or something. No. Richmond has a lot of long green runs, usually. Junior has a theory on why Richmond sucks now, and I buy it, because Richmond, they used to spray the fucking track down with sealer to like, it seals up cracks, but it damages the asphalt, which would mean they would have to repave it sooner. Like, you know, a track can last 20 to 30 years before getting repaved. They think that it would hurt the asphalt, so they stopped spraying sealer on the track, and that took all that grip away. And ever since, it's a combination of that and that shitty race car they've raced. But for the last like 9 years, Richmond has been a terrible racetrack. The drivers love it because they say it still feels like it used to feel, but the racing doesn't look like it used to look on Richmond.
Okay.
And Junior's like, if it was up to me, I'd be spraying sealer all over that fucking racetrack like when he used to run on. Because Junior was good at Richmond. He said, it's not a coincidence that I stopped running good at Richmond when they stopped spraying the track down with sealer. And he said, I'm mad as hell about it. He said he bitched at them about Bristol. He said, why'd y'all change Bristol? It took me 3 damn years to figure that fucking place out again. Man, like he had it figured out. Repaving Pocono worked out for him, though. That's one of my cars I want to get. I want to get one of Junior's Pocono cars.
They have them this weekend.
That car...
Or is that probably an expensive...
I've seen it at the racetrack, the one I'm looking for. This is his Daytona 500 car from 2014.
Oh, nice.
He's got the confetti and shit all over it.
Yeah, this is the one you told me about.
Yeah, that's the one I actually paid $150 for.
That's all right. This is nice, Dale. Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
And in that box, there's a little baggie of confetti from that night, like an actual little bag of confetti from the celebration.
So it's worth it.
The people that make that are at they make those die casts, and they're at every race. And in Victory Lane, they're there taking pictures of the car and scanning it, and then putting it on one of those and recreating it. And they sell the race version of the cars.
Oh, cool.
Like you see that 8 car with the scratch on the side.
Yeah.
That's how that car looked after that race.
See, I like that. Yeah.
And they take scans of them and they produce them. So I love the race wind die casts the best, but they're the most expensive because of like all the detail with the scratch and the confetti and all that shit on it.
Yes.
But those are cool. There's like a Kevin Harvick race wind die cast from Texas where they dumped so much confetti on it, like you can't even see the fucking windshield on the die cast car.
I'll be right back. I have to...
Did he holler?
Jeez,
You would know it.
General Stallions, Primetime, Fox, and NBC.
I'm a whole mess. There
Only
We gained more subscribers.
we go. Drink or anything?
Oh, I'm good. For now, I'm good.
You need anything long?
led by Blaney, Byron, and Chastain.
I'm pretty sure I
Boys, try
pre-ordered
one of
the
these
Tate Fogle.
special stops they've been
Do you still get Gravedigger, or did you cancel that one? The Kevin Harvick Gravedigger one?
Remember they don't come out till like April.
Oh, yeah, like a year later.
April or May.
Yeah.
That's why I pre-ordered them, because I still got, which hell, it's probably about time.
Martin Truex Jr., the free tires on that race car
Grave
are
Digger.
gone, and he's got mad
I
brake shake.
know, I
And you
think I
see
got
there trying to do
Bubba's
pit
win.
stop choreography
I
that we've
pre-ordered
been hearing
Bubba's
so much
Talladega.
about.
Wow. Where are you getting all this fucking money?
You don't pay for it till it comes out.
That's true.
So I ain't got charged yet. I can't remember if I got to take Fogelman one. Wasn't there an AJ race?
Or AJ race, the Indianapolis race.
Red car that he won a car. He won in like a trash car.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered that one.
Blaney Chastain. Wow, a good pit stop for Chase Elliott in 2022? You're kidding. God, Byron lost 6 spots. Blaney, Chastain, Elliott, Bell, Kyle Busch, top 5 coming out of the pits. Blaney and Elliott had good pit stops in 2022. First time they've probably both had good pit stops at the same time. Yeah. Surely they can't fuck up having the first pit stall. The more laps he leads, the more pressure's on him. Dylan, did you see Rick Boogs tear his quad last night in that match with the Usos?
Is that who got hurt?
Tore his quad. And when it happened, I went, ooh. And then I saw the way the ref was doing, and he hit the fucking button to talk to the back, and I was like, oh yeah, he's hurt. And then they had to end the match pretty quick. He had the Usos on his shoulders, and he like lost his balance, and when he went down, his fucking knee went like that, and they all landed on his, like that side of his body.
I know the guys talking about it was talking about how he was okay. That's how
I knew he was fucked. I knew he was fucked as soon as it happened.
What'd you think about the Miz?
Love that match.
Finale, no, after the match.
Oh well.
When he gave the
that was funny.
Finale to Logan Paul.
People are like, did Miz turn face? And I'm like, no, it's just dickhead Miz not wanting to share the spotlight. And obviously they're gonna have a match between Miz and Logan Paul at like SummerSlam or something.
They're gonna send Logan Paul out to be solo.
Yeah, he did good in that match.
I thought he done all right. I didn't like his brother talking before. I watched the pre-show.
I had that on mute just to see what was going on.
His brother like got up in the crowd and he was like, "I knock people like you out. I knock people like you."
Does he know wrestling's fake?
Dude, he was just, I don't know.
I love
He's a hot man.
There's a story in ECW of fucking Sandman was wrestling somebody, and I can't remember what was going on, but he said the guy kept getting mad at him. He's like, "You're calling spots too loud," because Sandman was like drunk, yelling to him like, "Oh, do this, do that." Like people can hear him telling him what moves to do. And he says the guy's like hitting him, going, "Stop calling fucking spots so loud." And Sandman goes, "Oh, what the fuck do you care? They know it's fake."
Seeing him go out there smoking and drinking.
There's a funny story where like Kevin Nash was like, yeah, in like '94, Vince called all the boys to come check out the new office in Stamford. They like renovated the office. It was like a tour for all the boys. And Kevin Nash was like, it turned into just a day of us all bitching at Vince, airing our grievances. He said, this turned into a big fucking clusterfuck at the office. And he said, Bam Bam Bigelow stood up and said, "I got a problem here. Why is Shawn Michaels riding in the same car with Razor Ramon and Diesel?" Because like Shawn and Diesel are heels and they're feuding with Razor, who was a good guy. So why are they riding together? That's not really protecting the business. And they said Shawn Michaels freaked the fuck out and was like, "Fuck you, Bam Bam, you piece of shit. Don't you ever fucking tell me who I can't ride with. These are my best friends." Because back in the day, good guys weren't supposed to be seen with the bad guys.
You gotta play the
But
part.
Shawn Michaels was like, "Fuck you, I'm on the road 300 days a year and Scott Hall's my best friend and I want to ride with him." And they had this big argument and Kevin Nash goes, "Scott Hall's cool as shit." He just goes, "Hey, Bam Bam, calm down." And he was like, "We're on tour every fucking night and there's a car of the same people following our bus from town to town. I think they know what the deal is."
Remember we tried to go there, Dale?
To Connecticut. They don't do the tours thing like you would think they would.
Yeah. I said, "Oh, Dale's coming up. We could go do a tour of the WWE headquarters."
I've seen the building from the highway.
They don't friggin' do that. And I thought they had a Hall of Fame. There is no
I could have
Hall
told you
of
the Hall of
Fame.
Fame wasn't real. They've talked about building one.
I thought they would have stuff on display. Oh, we gotta turn it.
Have to wait till the car
What? Hamlin had a bad pit stop or something? What?
and come around. It also means they can go back around the front of the car and not interfere with the work of the gas man.
It's
The more you know, you little shitheads.
works properly. These guys have been touting about.
Oh yeah, Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik. No, Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik didn't get. Well, no, they got fired because they were riding together, not because they had pot and got arrested. They got in trouble because they were riding together.
I remember when that happened because I was thinking like, damn, they're in the car together.
Because Duggan was like All-American and Iron Sheik's the big heel,
feuding,
and they're
yes.
riding together.
Yes.
And that's why they got fired, not because they were smoking pot.
Yeah.
The only Joe Gibbs car that did not do
I used to be a real NASCAR person, then I kind of lost interest in it. Got a little.
No. Have you heard the Jim Duggan interview where he talks about, he's like yelling about why they got fired? He's like, hey, we got fired because we were riding together. Well, what the hell? Superfly Snuka killed his wife and they didn't fire him?
Yeah.
Yes, he killed his fucking wife, and Vince helped cover it up. Yeah, that's something you don't hear about often.
Yeah, he
Well,
did.
that sounds like that.
Oh, whoa, Chase, cross-eyed Clyde.
Yeah, he tried to cover up all
You guys see Chase miss a gear on that restart?
the steroids and all that stuff.
Chase lost a lot of ground.
But yeah, I thought they'd had a whole thing where they displayed like the wrestlers stuff, you know, and
Something that would be cool.
yes.
They talked about building one in Florida at the Performance Center. Yeah. If they ever build one, it'll be in Florida.
No. You do. Just get on the mic.
3 wide. Ooh. Ooh.
Really?
Briscoe Centric Almirola. Now Reddick Centric Almirola. Oh. Hold your line. Hold your fucking line.
Oh yeah, I used to.
3 wide again. Now Harrison Burton's trying to be a dick.
I like the Iron Sheik.
Oh. Back out of that. And then look at Suarez trying to dive bomb the 3 car. Oh, if I was Suarez, I'd be so mad right now. I hate when people do that shit. In the video game, they'll do this shit. You'll get like under them, and they'll just start going. And next thing you're like, you motherfucker. That's exactly what just happened to Suarez and Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon started coming down on him, and Suarez had to let back out.
7th place at stake there. Logano on the outside of Byron. Now watch the 9 on the restart, and you'll see that Chase Elliott does not.
Oh, cross-eyed Claude missed a shift. I wish Kyle would have packed it under him because Chase would have been fine, but Kyle's front end would have got punched in.
And past that whole group.
Back end damage is fine. Hell, it actually helps. You rip that bumper off, it helps. Yeah, they do that thing at Richmond and Phoenix where the first stage is like 70 laps and the next one's like 150.
6th place now for Logano.
Because I was going to say something about Blaney leading all the laps, but now
I don't think anybody's going to beat Blaney today. Chastain's getting better, though. You got to watch the guys from like second on back that get better as like each run progresses. Like this run, they're 6th, then the next run they'll be 3rd, and then so on. The leader is at risk because they get comfortable and stop adjusting on their car because they think, oh, it's fine, and then somebody else makes a big adjustment and they catch up to them. That's why you got to watch guys like Truex and Logano because they're Logano's notorious for that.
We're rooting for Logano right now.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
Briscoe's not even top 20.
I hate him.
Everybody that races with him hates him. Ooh! I thought Byron was going to hit Brad. Brad's hit about everything else this year. Keselowski's cost cautions in like every race but like 1, I think, this year. Yeah.
that's some violent things.
It's a sexy race car, though. He looks like the Prowler from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Harvick's car looks good. I like that car.
Harvick side by side. In any other year, these would be 2 drivers you'd expect to be right at the front, contending for the win. But it takes time to get to the front here as they race for 10th place.
As we have these brake problems, you start to think about the fans, the cooling and all that. And how about
At 6 races in, to be as far back as they are in points, they should be worried. Because even when they're not having bad shit happen, they're not running good. Yeah. Ross is catching Blaney. Might actually get a lead change. I think this is the last race on Fox till the 600. They're going to go to FS1 for a while, and that pisses off all the boomers that don't have cable. Every other Facebook comments, I don't get FS1. Well, get fucking cable. You don't have to get cable. Get like YouTube TV. It's on there. If you want to watch the race bad enough, you'll find a way to watch it.
You'll watch it.
Yeah.
Unless you cut the cord. I mean, yeah, well, what do you think's going to happen?
I hooked up my dad's smart TV and shit a couple weeks ago and got him a bunch of stuff on there.
Oh, good.
That last lap, Blaney picked it up again. Ross got to within 0.2 of him, and now Blaney's 0.4 ahead. And Bell's quietly in third. Blaney's got a, boy. Not even a quarter of the way through the race, and Blaney's complaining about his brakes. Yeah, that's his last 3 races. Second, first. And before that, he finished third. Pretty fucking good. Pretty good. Yeah, Chris, you'd be surprised how many people. Oh, there's the kids. And more kids.
He does got a Bowman hat on. I like that.
I'm probably getting that Bowman. I keep saying I'm gonna get a Bowman shirt at Martinsville.
I'm gonna try to just complete. I'm gonna get one of each. I'm gonna get the.
Because they make these shirts that like that, and they're so comfortable.
And you feel it. They're like that athletic.
Yes, those are nice.
These things, like when we put them on, was it Darlington? We got
you get
Bristol.
God.
Bought one at Bristol.
Yeah.
I walked back out to the car.
It was
felt like air conditioners.
Yeah.
It was like cold.
15 degrees cooler when you put those on.
You got one Dale?
I got 2. I got 2 Kyle Larson ones.
Oh.
I got his Valvoline one and the HendrickCars.com shirt. And I'm probably going to get an Alex Bowman shirt when we go to Martinsville. I'm going to get one of those shirts like every time we go to a race now.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a Larson, Bowman, and Byron. I want to get a junior.
Is it safe to say everybody in this stream...
Been at Martinsville, I got to get something for junior.
Everybody in this stream would pay for a subscription service to watch NASCAR races commercial free if they had like a Peacock style thing where you could get these races commercial free. I would pay for that. I would actually pay $10 a month or less.
They don't have crappy announcers.
Yeah.
Or crappy, you know.
I wish they would.
Have some entertainment.
I wish they would put. I know they have the races on Peacock and NBC at the same time, but they still show the commercials on
I
that.
think I'm being called.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Let's go. Ring.
Tell them it takes 100 years to get off that fucking bed.
I know. For me, anyways. All right, Dylan. If I'm not back.
It should be on Peacock.
Nice to meet you.
All right.
You would think they'd put them on Peacock commercial free. Like WWE. Although, last night is the most commercials I've ever seen in a fucking WrestleMania. That was annoying as shit. And they had to cut the New Day match. And I'm like, well, if you didn't have Drew McIntyre cut the fucking ring ropes in half, and if you didn't show 25 video packages that we've already seen.
That shit. When I seen the belt snap, I was like,
Did you
really just do this?
Did you notice in the Rey Mysterio match, the fucking bottom rope was crooked? Oh my god, it was so goddamn. It was like an optical illusion. I was like, is that bottom rope? I was like, which rope is crooked? The bottom rope was like this, and the rest of the ropes were like way out here. And then after that match, they cut back and they were fixed. They must have fixed them between matches, but it was so distracting.
No, what was distracting me was fucking how hot Becky Lynch was.
Oh Lord,
Becky
have
Lynch
mercy.
was a motherfucking flame.
That outfit she was wearing was not PG.
I just said when she took them glasses off, Lindsay was like, "What the fuck?" I looked up, I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, lost.
I bet you Zelina Vega tops that tonight. Zelina Vega is going to be the finest woman to ever walk into a WrestleMania.
99 laps complete, 29 into 106.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Chris. If NASCAR makes a streaming service and archives all the old races, you won't be able to get them on anybody else's YouTube channels anymore because they'll get demonetized. My streams will be at risk if NASCAR has a streaming service, even though I don't show anything. We got 2 Roush cars in the top 12.
I mean, for 30 laps in, the top 5 within 2 seconds.
Oh, it's hot in here, and I don't know what to do about it. It's fucking hot. I'll be right back.
Clint, do you get that? I hate to say this. He reminds me of an air traffic controller. Exactly what he sounds like. But I'm telling you, everything that he says, I'm going to put to the bank because I can't have his points at me because I'm on the phone.
Those guys do a great job. You know, Cliff is awesome. He and his group, they study super hard.
You get to enjoy that because if I have the fan facing me, you'll hear the whole fucking stream. No matter how low I turn that fan down, this mic will pick it up.
Hey, this is what we have to do to make our car go faster or what's going on. And it's just fun to watch those guys continue to improve as they go.
Battle for second here, Christopher Bell passing the one of Ross Chastain. I told you.
Bell is a short track beast.
I would not be upset if you
I wouldn't be surprised if Bell won. I don't know if I could say I'd be happy for Gibbs.
It's not Kyle Busch, it's not Truex, and it's not.
Hamlin. Ty Dillon, 16th.
I was looking at Busch.
Blaney drove away. Ross was catching Blaney. It's not even really close now.
Let's go back to fifth place. Chase Elliott,
the only Hendrick driver without a win this year. And I talked to
Rub it in.
I mean, it's only what? This is what, the seventh race?
Yeah.
Come on.
It was like a white knuckle event. He said, we
They made that sound so
down
bad.
on speed. They qualified 15. He said they made a few adjustments, and it certainly helped today. He's already gained 10 positions despite that stumble in the last restart.
There's still a lot of seats at Richmond. I figure they would have taken more seats out. There used to be seats all over there. And 3 and 4. Go back and play NASCAR 05 and you can see all the old seats that don't exist anymore at every racetrack. It's like, God damn. At Charlotte, dude. All the way from turn 3 all the way to the exit of turn 2. And now those turn 2 seats and all that are gone.
Look like he's out of control. It's just nice and smooth. The guy's saving his tires. He understands where he's at.
There's rumors that Truex might step away after this year. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so
So Ross just pulled a half.
looking at what the TV's got to show me. Looking
Yeah.
at where he's riding on the racetrack. Looking at the lap time. And you put all that together.
Chris, until I see it on J-Ski, I don't believe anything.
from my perspective, car just looks
Yeah.
very new.
I seen a meme about doing
He's
that.
not overpowered.
And then I mean, think, I was like,
Lean
well.
on it really hard to keep the car turning in the center of the car. It looks pretty neutral, free.
The
up
same
off the corner.
paint scheme
Just pretty good balance.
as Rock was awesome.
Denny Hamlin, Chris Wood.
I think the only difference is the roof numbers. I think NASCAR says you can have identical paint schemes, but you got to make the roof numbers different for the spotters.
Passing that first run, you know, if they had some air pressure differences or anything, at least a little bit, they probably made those adjustments on that pit stop.
Another typical Richmond race, not that remarkable yet anyway.
Only
You wanted to turn that up or what?
in the top 13
Oh.
right now have been to victory lane this year. Ross Chastain.
Ooh, I can kind of feel it now.
I
Kinda.
was trying to get it like off more of my upper body.
Yeah.
'Cause it is kind
I don't know why it's so damn hot in here.
We heard Ryan Blaney talking about
Thermostat's on 70. It should be cool as shit in here.
Well, good news for Ryan Blaney fans. As of right now, he says it has gone away. No
Brady's vibration has gone away. I got a stroke coming on here. Blaney's vibration has gone away.
but it's another baby.
Danica Patrick is now happy she's not driving that car.
Going just how you want him to. And I guess
That's the oldest, most played out joke I have about when a car's got a vibration. Somebody get Danica, replacement driver.
Clean air and he can just roll the corner and stay off those brakes. Well, maybe good things can happen. Well, now you're starting to see him in traffic and things like that. Again, there's a temperature that they want to run. That optimum temperature where all
Damn, is Kyle Larson back in the 42 car? Why is he only running 14th?
inside that car, you can dictate that temperature. If you're overcharging,
Getting outrun by Roush.
you adjust your car.
Yeah, Rylan Brainey. Rylan Brainey.
Loose in, I'm going to charge that corner hard.
And Huston Jaley. Damn, Haley, 22nd. He had to start the race a fucking lap down.
On a short track like Richmond, those are
22nd, still not great.
that car to try to
of.
help
Bowman,
try to help
Speaking of not great, Bowman's 23rd.
you know what you just
Hendrick at Richmond has not been good for a long time. Hendrick doesn't do remarkably well at Richmond, so I guess we shouldn't be surprised. You know how I know Hendrick never did that great at Richmond? Jimmy Johnson only won there 3 times. Only 3 times. And Dale Jr. at DEI was a beast at Richmond, and then he got to Hendrick, and they mostly sucked at Richmond. Explain that one. How do you go from driving at DEI and you win Richmond 3 times, and then you go to Hendrick and you generally suck at Richmond? Whether or not they were spraying the track down with sealer. You know what sucks about Harrison Burton running shitty is all the fucking Matt DiBenedetto dumbass fans are like, Steve fucking do a better job, even though Harrison Burton's a rookie. It's like, oh boy, Matt DiBenedetto with his fucking 7 years of Cup experience compared to Harrison Burton, who's run like 8 races total. Let me know how DiBenedetto's old truck career is coming along there, buddy. I wanted to like him so much, but when you just don't perform, and I gotta hear about you all the time, like, I get fucking tired of you. I understand why people turned on Junior, because they had those couple of bad years. I'm like, yeah, I would understand. Like, you're hearing about him all the fucking time. Although, I remember there was a point in the middle of that 2-year spell where Junior was really bad, where, God, they wouldn't even talk about him during the race. They talk about him before the race, and then during the race, you would never hear his name. And it was kind of like depressing as shit. It's like, where's Junior running? I don't know, because they haven't talked about him. Harrison Burton, yeah. Harrison Burton has already had a better career than DiBenedetto, because Burton actually won Xfinity races.
He ran good at, what was it, Daytona he finished good?
Well, Daytona, he was like running top 5 and got wrecked. Remember, he got flipped.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Daytona's Daytona, but still, they were fast. Worst president ever. It's a commercial. He's your buddy.
Yeah, bud.
I didn't know Al Bundy's dog was running for president.
I like how they're, like, the way he had his gun sitting in his waist, like they're trying to make it a point you know he has a gun.
That's how you know he's cool, man.
Here, vote for me. I got a gun. How many people are going to vote for him just because of that?
A lot.
A lot.
Bell is now second.
Me? I wonder.
Bell passed Chastain during the commercial. Ain't shit happening in this race, in case y'all can't tell. But it's just Richmond. That's just how Richmond's been for a long time. I need to reconfigure Richmond and put it back to a half mile or whatever it used to be in the 80s.
Slap some dirt on it.
Fucking,
that's the answer to everything.
yeah, put some fucking dirt on Richmond instead of Bristol. I wouldn't be mad at that. Richmond's more suited to be a dirt track than Bristol. It's almost got the perfect banking for it. Put dirt on Richmond. Leave Bristol alone.
Just outside the top 10 and Bubba Wallace in 22nd. Getting deeper into the run.
Yeah.
Check our onboard drivers.
Hold on.
He's taking that right hand and using it to shift. Saw Chase Elliott do it a couple of laps ago. Saw Brad reach his left hand out, get a little fresh air out there.
Look at this. This is something that Chad and I saw. See Brad Keselowski, the points on his steering wheel there. I'm interested to know what he has going on. I think that may be a guide when he's using that to you know, correlate.
Look at Chase Elliott
How much
passing Kyle Busch for 4th place.
Well, I think it could be, for sure. There's definitely tools that you can use there, but I think that very well could be a situation where you're on pit road. Yeah. You turn your wheel to the right a little.
Chad Knaus is perfect for this broadcast. Uninspiring.
Damn, Brad's ace.
Yeah, 2 Roush cars in the top 10 after we've all been clowning them for weeks.
Maybe they've just been messing with everybody.
My pick, Joey Logano, is up to 6th. Going for 5th. Kyle Busch just went low to stay in front of him into 1 as they lap Corey LaJoie. Harvick by Hamlin. Harvick and Hamlin all day long. Cast your minds back to 2020. This would be a battle for the lead, 12 seconds ahead of the rest of the field at this point. But it's Harvick and Hamlin racing for 11th right now. Truex pitting. It's hard to say. I mean, you can make it from here to the end of the stage, so they must have just been like, fuck it, pit as soon as we can. The race looks like it's going to go green all the way, so I would take the chance to pit right now and get better tires and gain some time. And Logano is in the top 5. There's hope for me yet. Of course, I'd hate to see him win. Yep. I think Chase and Logano are really good right now. Blaney is too, obviously. Kyle Busch pitting. Keselowski pitting. Pit stops at Richmond, especially under green, catch me off guard. Hell, green flag pit stops in general this year catch me off guard because we barely had them.
Mike, it's been a good day so far for Brad Keselowski, that race car. Good on entry, just
Really.
two tight across the middle for him right now.
How many more crew chiefs do you want Denny Hamlin to have?
Are pitting under green.
A lot of monkey see, monkey do in this type of situation. You don't want to be the
Chad Canal said monkey. Racist confirmed. Boycott NASCAR.
in this type of situation because you're the first car on the track with fresh tires, and you can really start to make some hay. Jamie, what have you got down there?
Kevin Harvick was yelling on the radio that he just has no rear drive. The tires are gone. He couldn't wait to come in and get these 4 fresh sticker tires. Good stuff.
Last year's winner, Alex Baldwin, now
Keep my driver's name out your fucking mouth.
Blaney, Ryan Blaney.
The leader is in. Wait for the bad pit stop or the penalty to derail Blaney's day. This race is flying by,
Larson.
so it's going to sneak up on us when he gets a penalty too late to come back from it. We're gonna be, oh, shit.
Penalty on the first stop is because he couldn't see his signboard the way it was through the pillar in the race car. So he asked him to hold that signboard out longer. Looks like he had no problem this time.
I wish somebody's pit sign was just a big black dick. Like a picture of like a dick or something. It's like, you can't miss this pit sign. Good stop for Blaney. That's 2 in a row. 2 good stops today for the 12 team.
Dillon is in. There's Cole Custer, who's back on the lead lap.
Chris, you have your next question to ask Dave Moody.
That would present a problem, but the commitment box is sometimes a little hard to find. And then there's getting down to pit road speed. He's got
Remember a couple years ago, Dylan, you don't remember this, but there was a caution late in the race. Logano leading, Kyle Busch second. They going to pit or are they going to stay out? And Logano goes to pit, and then at the last second he stays out, and by that point Kyle Busch is already at the box and he tries to cut out with him. Penalty, 18 car, commitment line, back of the field with like 2 laps to go. Oh, it was hilarious. So you know Logano did that shit on purpose.
Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, and Todd Gilbert. Here's Briscoe.
Damn, Christopher Bell's last 2 finishes at Richmond was 4 and 5.
He won there in the Xfinity Series a handful of times.
And to be running top 5 all day.
Briscoe's shitty day just gets worse. That could be a penalty. I don't know. Could have been an uncontrolled tire on Briscoe. Or maybe since the guy caught it, they'll let it slide.
Top 6. Yeah, have not pitted.
And what these guys are hoping for from a strategy standpoint,
Truex
is
is
thinking,
the leader.
okay,
Look at Todd Gilbert running 6th.
we need to get a little bit further, we need to have a caution, try to get us off sequence of the guys.
Truex,
You're thinking, okay,
You better get off sequence with Blaney if you're going to have any shot, because I don't think you're just going to beat him straight up.
and see if we can make hay.
Beat him on pit road, beat him on strategy. It's one of those days. Oh my God. So they didn't change the roof numbers, they changed the door numbers on Busher and Keselowski to make them look a little different.
They're 11th and 12th, so they only lost a spot or 2. The problem is everybody who stopped is now 1 lap down to the lead 6 cars.
Truex is going to be the leader when this cycles through. That's pretty weird. He did short pit.
So did Brad and
Got the
Busch
12
in
that's
top
entering turn
eight.
3, the 20s
So did
exiting
they
turn
have
4.
Yeah.
Should happen probably in just a little
Brad in
while
the
or
top
two.
5, Chris Buescher 6th.
God, I'm tired. I didn't sleep worth a damn last night, in case y'all didn't know.
Truex is on the lead lap. Damn.
Yeah, Truex already got his lap back.
Caution would really fuck
You can
me.
see that
Yeah.
gap to the 20.
Now Truex is one of the ones hoping for a caution.
I'm dumping a lap.
And that's the hard part about being on similar lap count tires
Oh,
as the
if we
people
get
you're
caution,
racing.
this is gonna be
Ooh, look at this slow car in front of Custer.
Damn, man, he is passing.
Yeah, both those cars are on brand new tires. Working some lap traffic there.
Oh, Blaney's about to get his lap back.
Now behind Blaney is Kyle Busch. And we've got some audio about the 18's last stop.
Kyle Busch audio.
I came in the box, I tried to just do clutch and brake. I got stuck in second gear. I couldn't get it to shift during the stop, the first to leave.
That's no fun. He's not mad.
I mean, he's
Who's
got
on
that
first
on
gear?
Blaney.
When you say you're going to play Kyle Busch audio, I expect comedy.
Not moving when it's just sitting idle. It's kind of like being on a motorcycle. When it's just sitting
Now
there.
Kyle's back on the lead lap.
Got it in third gear,
Truex,
trying to
Blaney,
get
and Kyle
first.
Busch.
Push it back and forth, push it back and forth.
I've been in a situation like Christopher Bell is, and this is the only caveat to this.
Well, they're about to be. Yeah, there you go. The ticker had to update.
This strategy.
Because I was like, didn't they just pass Bill? Yes, they did.
Counting on a lap time, you look up and Christopher Bell's running a 25:15. You can count on, all right, he can run those.
Yeah, Keselowski and Busher
Tires
pitted early,
by
And now they've already been passed back by all the cars they got in front of by pitting early. Spelled differently. First of all, who spells Eric with a K?
I was wondering who spelled it with an
Yeah, that's even worse.
A. At least he put the C instead of the K.
WrestleMania tonight going to top tomorrow night? I don't know. Probably not.
I think it'll probably have its match.
I kept making jokes about, man, I bet Stone Cold Steve Austin is the sorest motherfucker in the entire world when he woke up today. You go 19 years without taking a bump, and then you're taking a fall. You're taking a suplex on concrete. Man, he's got to be sore. Damn, we've gained like 3 subscribers in just this stream today. I just looked. We're getting so close to 800. You guys got 211 to go before Friday night. Get cracking. Campaign. Call your congressman. Tell him to subscribe to my channel. Jeremy Mayfield says he's watching his first NASCAR race in a long time. Richmond's one of his faves. Jeff Gluck tweeted a picture of the guy dressed like the watermelon seed that was stuck on Ross Chastain's beard after last week. God, that pre-race show was a chore once again. I muted it. Shout out to fucking Cody Rhodes for coming back and having the greatest goddamn match of like WrestleMania in the last 10 years, arguably. That match was unreal.
I was still upset we didn't get Bray Wyatt, but
yeah, I mean, I remember thinking, I'm like, if it's Cody at this point, I'm going to be disappointed. I was not disappointed. That crowd popped. I'm like, okay. And then Cody and Seth had a 5-star, just unbelievable match, and I'm like, okay, that was worth it. We all saw it coming, but that's okay. It was the right call. Sometimes it's okay to do the predictable thing when it's the right fucking thing to do. Sometimes I just worry about WWE, though, because they'll have Vince will wake up one day, oh, it's too predictable. We got to do something else. They know what we're going to do. But sometimes it's just the right thing to do. Can you guess which NASCAR YouTuber complimented the pre-race skit with the dude dressed like the watermelon seed? Take a guess, guys, in the chat. Which NASCAR YouTuber thought that the watermelon guy skit in the pre-race was a good thing?
Eric.
Ding, ding, ding. Dylan is the winner.
Shit, I knew it. That is the only dude I know that would get on his fucking knees for NASCAR.
What interesting stuff happened at WrestleMania? The whole goddamn show was really interesting. Like, not a single match missed last night. The weakest match was Ronda and Charlotte, but that's just because Ronda's sloppy.
I think these guys are the ones for that answer.
It's funny, Truex is going to get the...
Oh! Whoa, Suarez!
That is amazing. What a save.
My Lord. Suarez, save of the day.
Alex Bowman was even impressed. That was a caution that just didn't happen. Battling for 21st
That was
place.
a caution.
You see Kurt Busch back on track. And
Bill Hamlin still have not pitted. Almirola, I don't think he's pitted either.
on that car. I know they replaced the ECU, replaced a whole bunch of wiring, but they got him back out there. He's 107 laps.
Yes, Chris, of course it was E-Step. Well, in the words of Economos, he's entitled to his opinion. His stupid fucking opinion.
Second in the Larry, get today's subway right
Or maybe it was a late April Fool's joke. I don't know.
Now they're running 1, 2, 3, and all in the top 5. Joe Gibbs Racing in Richmond Raceway. When you
Shout out to NASCAR and Fox for the stupidly late start time, but at least the race is going by fast.
total of 12 Richmond wins. Even Christopher Bell, he has 3 Xfinity Series wins. This race 1 year ago, Joe Gibbs
It's kind of race that's hard on the drivers, hard cars to drive, tough racetrack, long green runs. Not a lot of chances to gain a bunch of ground on restarts and shit, so they're running hard. I wish Richmond was as good to watch as it is to drive and race on as a driver.
1, 2, 3 right now, looking good.
Fastly approaching when that 20 car should be starting to think about pitting on that 155 range. I'm going to bet is when you start seeing it hit your road.
There are now only 3 lead lap cars that have not pitted. Christopher Bell, your leader. Denny Hamlin, who has cycled up to
You guessed the correct NASCAR YouTuber. Tell him what he's won, Todd.
This is painful.
Dylan, you won a free ticket to the NASCAR Cup Series race at Martinsville.
Sweet. These old tires, and you see that another car getting underneath of him. You can't get down. Ty Dillon going underneath of him. Can't get down in that.
How do you feel?
To run.
Todd Gilbert makes a scheduled stop. He was
Almirola to the pits now.
One of the drivers I mentioned gives up his
Still waiting on Bell.
But again,
I feel like
credit to Christopher Bell. He's doing a good job. If you
feel like
see
Ty
it
Gibbs
come up
right now,
again,
dude.
it's all about managing and optimizing.
So this is what Ty Gibbs feels like. I'm God's favorite race car driver. I'm God's favorite race car fan.
Christopher Bell's lap times are with
Bell is ruining Ryan Blaney's Jeff Burton performance of leading every fucking lap. That's shot now. Way to go, Bell. Now Bell's pitting. Hamlin on pit road now. Dude, if Joseph Lombard can get a press pass, they're not that prestigious, are they? What did Joseph Lombard do to get his hard card? Did he fucking send Jim France or Mike Hilton a dick pic and they said, "Oh, that's a nice one. Here's your fucking hard card." New meaning to the phrase hard card.
Issues for him, a little bit of brake shake.
this will complete the cycle, and the first driver to make the green flag stop, Martin Truex, goes.
Oh, but Joseph Lombard has mental issues. He doesn't know that it's not okay to send a picture of your cock to a 15-year-old.
He felt it.
Everybody feel bad for Joseph Lombard.
Truex Jr. What do you think?
I haven't shit on him nearly enough, and that happened like a year and a half ago now.
He's got a 3.5-second lead right now over second place on Blaney, who had
Or whatever it's been.
before that pit stop cycle started.
But we got a chance to talk to not only him, we talked to his teammate as well. Nobody's. Denny Hamlin had owned this place through the course of my career, right? And
I happen to like all my fellow NASCAR YouTubers. Even the ones I make fun of, I like as people.
Truex knew, man.
They all like
He
NASCAR,
was
so I know.
Cool by me.
Yeah, I
in
know
their
what
ability to take control of this race.
So we've cycled all through green flag stops, and we're back to 18 cars on the lead lap.
Truex, Blaney. Blaney lost 3 seconds to Truex. I can't believe Truex gained that much ground. He was like 6th pitting.
Here's a look at this upcoming release.
Truex, Blaney, Busch, Logano, Elliott. Oh, Jesus. Shut up.
Truex said, "Hey, give me what that Christopher Bell kid's got in his car."
That chair sucks. You can sit on the bed.
I'm fine right now. I'm actually comfy.
Hate those fucking chairs. But I'm tired of mine. You guys gonna donate me a fucking chair already so my streaming career will improve from a comfort standpoint? Oh, damn. So was that dude on the pre-race dressed like a watermelon seed or an uncircumcised dick? Because that's kind of what he looked like. He was the weird guy from Little Nicky that was like dancing in the window. Remember?
No,
He was the dude that was like, when Nicky's like floating up to his girlfriend's window and he comes past the window with that naked guy dressed like a woman. That's him. That was that guy. You got the wrong window again, man. Sorry, nipples. Valerie! I don't care what anybody says. I like Little Nicky. Damn, Cody Rhodes has himself a hot-ass wife, but everybody hates her. This chick said, dude, I was at WrestleMania Access. They were charging $15 for you to take a picture with a cardboard cutout of Kevin Owens and a cardboard cutout of The Miz. $15 for a picture with a piece of cardboard. Who would pay for that? Tell you one thing, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins should be the highest paid superstars in WWE history just for what they've done for that company in one of the worst periods of wrestling ever.
Dude,
They are both the fucking MVPs of WrestleMania.
No. See, NASCAR was selling bags of ice at Texas for like, I think it was like $20 a bag or something.
Bags of ice for $20.
Because they wouldn't allow you to bring your own in or something.
Seriously, anybody who has a problem with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins, kiss my ass. They are literally the MVPs of professional wrestling.
I used to not like Seth.
I've always thought Seth was brilliant.
Now it's to the point where he's like the Kyle Busch.
He is at the top of his fucking game.
You just gotta fucking deal with it. It doesn't matter if you like him or not.
Seth Rollins is at the top of his fucking game. And Kevin Owens is just as good at everything.
The 11 and the 20 as we look at today's pit performance, sponsored by eBay Motors. And there's a look at the difference. 3/10 to the good for Christopher Bell on the driver's side and 3/10 to the crew side.
Feel like I'm watching a Formula One race, and that's not a good thing. Cindric 12th. He's gained a lot on this long run. Bowman 15th, from 23rd to 15th over the course of this run. Moving forward. Bubba's last car on the lead lap in 19th.
If Bowman's going to back into it, he's got to be
Yeah, because what happened if you go back?
We've still got 63 to go on this damn stage. And there's only 19 cars on the lead lap.
The 11 car Chris Gabehart and the 11 crew, they went back to the old-fashioned way, just to flip.
Looking at the time frame or the time splits, I think he might go to lap up the season by the end of the stage.
Yeah, in 62 laps, yeah. I wonder if Blaney will like run down Truex over 60 laps.
It's ticking between 2.9 and 2.8.
So that's not much.
And I think they had what, like 5 lap difference on tires. So maybe Truex.
Maybe at the very end of the run, Blaney will be a little better and can run down Truex, make it interesting at the end of the stage.
Hell, you're third. Race car setups.
Oh shit, yeah, Logano's third. I can't complain. Elliott trying to get fourth back from Kyle Busch. They didn't have a bad pit stop, but Busch did pit sooner than Elliott. That's why he lost the spot.
But you can see Busch is falling back. He pit 2 laps later than Truex.
Larson's in the top 10 for the first time today.
Kyle Busch is already falling.
Chase Elliott stopped later than Kyle Busch by just a bit, but you've seen Eric Jones pass.
Chris, I'm sure this is a good year. I hear nothing but good things about F1. I'm a very casual observer of F1.
Now we're just 14 days away from Cup cars.
Is that where they're doing that Las Vegas? I've been hearing a lot about this Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday night, April 17th.
Why is that so
I cannot wait to see this car.
Yeah, I mean, it's a street course in Las Vegas. Yeah, it's something they've never done. They've done street courses, but not in somewhere like Vegas.
Kyle Larson there over the last couple of nights racing a dirt late model. And I know there's others as well. Everybody's trying to get some seat time in preparation for that dirt day.
So here's Martin Truex, the leader, who was last on pit road, Larry. 40.
Kyle Larson's getting passed by a Roush car.
The first one to pit, Mike, and I'm gonna
Well,
say
Buscher's trying.
probably within
You know what? Buscher runs so good on short tracks, he's got to lean over on that left front, and Buscher's gained so much weight now that when he leans over to the left, it just puts that fucking left front on that yellow line and grips that bottom.
That car is never tight.
Shifting weight, buddy.
Chris Busch's car is never tight.
Well, that thing turns like a dream with him leaning over in it. Because Chris Buescher is thick now, boy.
Running well, running fast.
Logano going for second on Blaney.
Calculated both cars.
See, I played the long game, 400-lap race.
See, Chase has done pulled 2 seconds from Kyle Busch. I think those tires might. Truex might be pushing hard.
Blaney leaving the top open for Logano if Logano wants to take it, if he can get there. Coming up on lap cars. Chase right there with Logano. Got a 3-car battle for second. Why is it at Richmond the race is always for second and the leader just takes off? And Logano is through to second. 3 wide with Blaney in a lap car. Shot the middle, got to second. Keselowski's Larson's got passed by another Roush car.
So he'll be the first of the
What's up with Ross?
The second green flag stop in this stage.
Again, that's the way to do it. You want to be the first guy to do it. The 19 following him on the pit.
Truex pitting again already. Wow.
Ross is the first one
To the one car. Now, he may not
This strategy is so confusing because you could make it to the end of the stage, but the tires just wouldn't make it.
including the 9 car of Chase Elliott.
So now it's just
See, all the stages do in this race is make it even more confusing because of how long the stage is.
you're leading the race.
Jamie?
There you go.
The sooner you pit, the better. You saw what it did for Truex on the last run. Yeah. And the NASCAR can say, look, it was a great race. Look at all these lead changes.
I haven't seen
Yeah, Truex gained it because he short pitted. And then Bell was leader because he stayed out a long time.
This will cycle Christopher Bell back to the lead.
Good luck keeping up with this.
And just about everybody who is in pit road on this two-stop cycle has now been in. Regan?
Five-car Kyle Larson early on in the race was struggling in and off of the corners with that race car.
Oh, Chris, you mean they had an F1 race where WrestleMania 9 took place?
Pretty happy with the five-car.
Truex, Chastain, wow. Chastain came out the cycle and Logano and Chase are all
to
right on
watch
top of
that
each
guy
other.
take advantage of it. As soon as he came, as soon as that one car was on pit road,
If I was Bill and those guys, I would abandon that strategy of running long, but
Will be William Byron entering pit road now.
you ain't going to get the caution you need. Look at this race.
Bell's got to.
So Christopher Bell will be your leader. From Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones,
You better short pick because Chastain's ahead of Blaney now.
Jamie.
And William Byron in the 24 just
He wasn't
really,
even
really
close.
Where the fuck is Logano? How did Logano lose time? He pitted first, too. He was like the next car to pit after Ross.
And again, we're going to be in this situation of
50 to go in stage 2. These stage links suck so bad.
Oh,
And this is the cycle you're going to see. It's going to be interesting to see how far or where the 11, the 20, the 43, the 10, they stack up in comparison to the 19 and the rest of the guys that are going to pit twice versus their one-stop pit.
What are you talking about, Chris? WrestleMania 9 was a classic. Who didn't want to see
Look, I think
Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake versus IRS and Ted DiBiase?
what
but
did
you also
wrestling
mentioned
fans think
something that
back
really
when
hadn't taken into consideration to start to analyze.
I just think back then they just took it for what it was and didn't know any better. Yeah.
You mentioned that.
They probably, oh yeah, Bruno's the fight. Because there's stories about when Bruno lost the belt, they said that crowd was like
To a road course. You fast forward to Indianapolis.
stunned. They said the closest thing to that ever was when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker. They said it was the same reaction when Bruno lost the fucking belt in Madison Square Garden.
We'll see how it plays out.
And it was Bruno's idea to lose the belt. He wanted Tom Oss. He said, okay. And it just shocked everybody that he lost it.
Except the fueler, of course, come around the front of the car on stops.
You know, when Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker, Brock said he thought he went deaf, but it wasn't him going deaf. The crowd was just so stunned silent that you couldn't hear anything. So he said he thought, he was like, am I deaf? He said he was like having a mini panic attack. I'm like, am I having hearing problems? No, everybody's quiet. I love the story of Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold sitting in the truck watching the match, and Triple H is behind them. 1, 2, 3, and then they said Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels at the same time both go
Faster than the leaders
and look at Triple H like, did you know about this?
versus the one-stop.
And it's like, of course he knew.
So the one stop.
Oh, yes, Giant Gonzalez versus Undertaker. 5 stars, buddy.
6th place here.
Yeah, y'all keep that on.
Blaney passing Chastain back. That didn't last long.
To make that
Ooh,
stop.
run him out of room, Blaney.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Blaney carried him up the
I
racetrack.
don't think he done it.
He Ty Gibbsed his ass, but not as aggressively.
That might get you the
Oh, Ross sent him.
Ross ain't playing.
Ross didn't like that move.
Damn, Ross.
Blaney fucked up and got in too hot and hit Ross, run him up the track, and Ross went to turn 1 and just shoved him out to the wall. Oh, this is how he's always been. Ross has always been this kind of guy.
Oh, I love it.
That
Somebody
could,
sent him in the microwave.
yeah, McDowell would have been an innocent victim.
He got done the same thing.
Yeah, ask AJ about this move. And this ain't even for a win. Oh my God, Dylan, something happened in this race.
He has a reputation of, I don't give a crap, I don't take any crap, I am not in the
Ross is going to end up like Ryan Newman, where drivers don't even bat an eye at what he does. Because they're just be like, that's what he does. You know it's coming. You know that's what he does.
I tell you what.
What happens when Blaney gets back? Because Blaney's faster than him. Blaney's faster than him. He will get back to him. Hell, it's happening right now.
Extremely aggressive.
Blaney would probably be patient and just be like, all right, pass you clean, wave, and we'll move on. I just don't know if Blaney would do that.
I don't know. This race has just been this race.
Yeah.
So
We need something interesting to happen here today.
The first one to have the guts to hit pit road, you're going to get an opportunity to take advantage of that.
Christopher Bell leads Denny Hamlin by 11.5 seconds. With 211.
Going to go to commercial and come back, and Chastain's going to be upside down in the catch fence at Richmond. Nah, Blaney ain't going to do nothing. He's going to like.
He might give him a little bump.
Blaney will acknowledge that he made a mistake, pass Ross clean, and go throw the hand out the window and just wave.
Were they running? I think that's what he should.
But then again, if I'm Blaney, I'm like, damn, that's an extreme overreaction for me getting a little loose under you, dude. Like, Ross would look like he was trying to junk him, but Blaney made a nice save. Ross walks that fine line, dude. If he hits you and you don't wreck, it's because you were just good enough to save it most of the time. There's like no Ross doesn't know how to just move people. He just fucking runs through you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Because he can take it as well as he dishes it out. I've never really heard Ross complain.
I am not in the crap business.
We don't take no crap around here. We're halfway through this race, just about. It's going to be about an hour and a half to get to halfway with all these green flag runs. And the race is still going to be too long.
Hey, Dale, pay me $15. I'll let you take a picture of a picture with me.
Yeah, I'm going to have a cardboard cutout. You can come to Martinsville and take a picture with a picture of me for $15. How about Stone Cold? I like when Stone Cold's on WWE TV, PG suddenly goes out the window, because you heard the shit they were talking, right? Mm-hmm. Stone Cold flat out said, if you want Steve Austin to compete in a match with this sack of shit, give me a hell yeah. And I was like, God damn. Kevin Owens talking about all these Texans, they wear these stupid ass hats and these stupid ass boots.
I think the one that got me, I can't remember if it was Becky or Bianca that called the other one a bitch.
Yeah. Seth Rollins yelled at Cody, welcome back to the big leagues, bitch, and hit him in the back of the neck or whatever. I love how much Rollins, like, talks down about AEW, because I know he's doing it just to, like, get heat, because I've heard him say in other interviews, like, I totally support what they're doing, and I'm happy for everybody that works there. But whenever he does an interview, when they mention, like, you know, AEW made this joke about WWE this week, and he's like, oh, they're just sad and desperate. You know, they want to get on our level, and they want to have our attention. It's okay. I get it. And he, like, talks down about AEW. But last night showed me, no matter how good AEW is, they will never outproduce WWE. From a production standpoint.
Wait, Ford, Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Ford's going to win this race.
And yet 3 Hendrick cars have still won with all these different winners. Yeah, Logano's going to win. Yeah, Logano's going to win me money.
I don't know, Gibbs is going to win this race.
Blaney still hasn't got back to Ross's bumper yet. Alex Bowman, first car lap down. Byron, last car on the lead lap as they run right now.
More difficult than what you think. As you're out there and you're trying to get your strategy to get your driver in a position where you can leapfrog some guys on track, it's really difficult to pass here. You're watching the guys hit pit road, you're thinking, okay, what is that delta? How much time has elapsed? Where are they going to shake out? And if I pit, what's going to happen? So if you're on there and you're trying to look at any lap time or any type of delta between where you were just on track a moment ago,
If you're,
five laps are
you
gone.
see how long it is for you to try to sell this point? You have one job to do. I'm out here swatting flies in this.
Clint Boyer's voice has become white noise to me.
Last 17 times strategies. That was the only job you had. I've been dealing with 2 drivers for the last 7 years. And you know my definition of a crew chief. It's a guy that gets to travel, that makes a good living, that listens to somebody.
We are halfway.
Do you see this workload right here? This guy.
Truex and Chastain have wrestled the lead away from Blaney as far as the actual lead. Bill's technically leading.
What do you? He looks like he's having a Sunday run right now. He's out there running third, cruising along here.
Earl, I don't mind them unifying the 2 world titles. Honestly, don't mind. They don't have a fucking... How many main eventers does WWE really have? Lashley, McIntyre, Roman. Brock Lesnar's part-time. I mean, Rollins and Kevin Owens should be, but they don't really get treated like that. Yep.
And he's like catching better fans.
I'm telling you, you have no idea. You just have no idea. And again, never once have I discounted what you drivers do out there because it's an extreme.
I don't know, I just think the long run's benefiting him. I feel like head-to-head, Ross and Blaney will be better than him. But Truex has such a gap because they've done so good on pit road. Plus, Blaney and Ross kind of tried to kill each other for a lap and a half, and that cost them time. Oh, my back. I've been sitting down through this whole race.
It's I won the race. We ran like crap today if you run it back. But if we rank, it's always, we rank down there in turn 2.
This is a weird race, but not in a good way. It might pick up. Last year was like this, where it sucked, and then the last 50 laps, all hell broke loose.
Bust your butt down in turn 2 or something. The first thing you do is get out, tell Jimmy Little on the TV that.
I can tell you, though, Richmond is not high on my list of, hey, I'd like to go there. If this was the mid-2000s, it would have been.
If I had the money and 2 free weeks, I would have said let's just go up there for 2
There's a
weeks.
special
Yeah.
seat in heaven for you having to deal with all this. Well, I mean, if you look at it right now, right? We've got the 19-car Martin.
It's weird that I think mile-and-a-half tracks are the races to see this year.
Seconds behind him right now. And the reason
Well.
they
And
are
I'm
in
gonna
this
be honest
position right
with you,
now
I would
is because of Small. Appreciate James Small. He is the one that made this thing happen, put them in this spot. He is, unless something odd happens, so he cruise on up there, win the stage, and go ahead and take home 10 points.
100% agree with that comment. And
This stage is so fucking long.
strategy and his willingness
Well, I think a NASCAR racing at Le Mans,
pit road first.
I think it's really cool.
That's why
I wish they had a whole class there to race instead of just one car. I wish they had, like, yeah. I wish they had a whole class with, like, the different race teams.
We have 19 cars on the lead lap.
Maybe that's in the future. Maybe that'll happen one day.
19. Austin Cindric is in the free pass
I know the other teams are pissed because they think they're giving Hendrick an unfair advantage by basically giving them a 24-hour test on a road course. As if Larson and Elliott need more help on road courses. I know Jimmy Johnson's one of the guys that's going to drive it.
Here comes Ricky Stenhouse.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Gordon was like, oh, I want to do it.
Grab a gear.
And I think that's exactly what's happening, Chad.
Send Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson over there.
When the 9-car of Chase Elliott was shifting earlier, the one thing that I did notice, he downshifted and never reached over and pulled that lever again. I wasn't going to say
Ross getting held up here by Hamlin for a little bit. Maybe it would bring Blaney to him, but I think he's just going to clear Hamlin.
Instead of playing for the 11-car, Chastain's getting by him right now. But go ahead and go back just a little bit when we were talking at the beginning of the race about your tire allocation. Right now, the guys that are only pitting one time at this stage of the race, they're going to have one additional set of tires behind their pit box that they can use at the end of the
It didn't bring Blaney to Ross like I thought it would.
We get a shot on 30, 35 laps.
Yeah.
Let's say right now there's only how many cars lead lap? We've got 18 cars lead lap.
My
Excuse me, Christopher Bell.
big stack up here.
Suarez.
Christopher Bell and Suarez.
Suarez is on much fresher tires. And look what
3 wide, Suarez, Bell, Austin Dillon, and almost. Wasn't as bad as earlier when Suarez got sideways. I know Mike Joy maybe think, oh, what, something's happening, wake up.
Oh, Truex is passing.
And we're going to have a lead change right here. Martin Truex is there.
A legit lead
Truex to the
change
inside of
from
Bell
like 12 seconds back.
on 20 lap
That difference in tires. Oh, fuck me. I better sleep good tonight, I swear.
43 of Eric Jones as a pick.
Okay, Ross.
New leader, Martin Truex, who had led only 17.
Chris, it's going to be a cup car with headlights.
Goes back out front.
And a door.
Hey, Larson.
Yeah, Larson top 10. They're grinding out a top 10, Dave. That's probably about all they'll get at this rate. Just not enough cautions for the guys outside or at the back half of the top 10 to get good enough to compete for a win. That's why the racing's been so competitive this year. Number one, all the cautions, giving everybody a chance to adjust and, you know, making more restarts, obviously. But when you get a race that gets strung out like this, it's like you're just kind of stuck running with what you have because you need cautions to make real adjustments on a pit stop. Or you do that under green, you're going to lose too much time. Those yawns are genuine. I'm not trolling by saying this is boring. I'm just really sleepy. Could not get to sleep last night. I thought I'd be fucking out of it after WrestleMania, but it was so good, I wasn't even sleepy after watching it. So that kind of derailed my plans to get good sleep. I can't wait to have my heart broken when I watch Raw the next 2 weeks and it slowly goes back to sucking like it always does after WrestleMania has been so good. Yeah, we're talking more about WrestleMania than this race because there's just not much to talk about in this race. Except that I totally whiffed on Chase Briscoe. He's fucking trash today. Trash. Qualified top 5, had a good practice run, won Phoenix, and they're just out to lunch. Getting outrun by Roush. Everybody's getting outrun by Roush right now is going, the fuck are we doing wrong? Hell, Briscoe's getting outrun by Bubba and Ty Dillon. I can't wait till the stage is over.
I agree.
You know what? This race could be worse, you know. We could be running high downforce here like we did in 2019. Fuck me. You thought this race sucked. Go back and watch that one. Oh yeah, it's Martinsville, Bristol, Dirt, and then Talladega. So odds of seeing more different winners are drastically going up over the next 3 weeks.
You telling us Willie B's
That's going to be fun. What a fun season so far. Here we are at Richmond. Brad Keselowski's 2 cars winning quite well in 11th and 12th as things cycle through here, with just 10 laps to go in stage 2.
Shout out to Ross Chastain for giving us the one thing to talk about today. Do I think Bianca's a discount Sasha Banks? Not really. I think Sasha Banks is the greatest female wrestler of all time, legitimately. But Bianca's really good. I was going to say Sasha Banks is the female Shawn Michaels. Yeah, currently, yeah, she's the female Seth Rollins. But all time, Sasha Banks is to women's wrestling what Shawn Michaels is to men's wrestling.
I'll tell you what, I can't stand how much they've always hyped Charlotte.
I know, and I'm like, she's good, but fucking give it a rest. I hate Charlotte Flair. Like, give it a fucking rest. I will give Charlotte all the credit in the world for carrying that shitty match with Ronda last night and making it tolerable. Without somebody like Charlotte in there, that match would have been a total train wreck.
I'm going to shoot up high and see what happens up there. Really a lot of excitement. This race is great.
Back.
Ronda Rousey, the biggest piece of luggage in women's wrestling history, because she's always got to be carried.
Alex Bowman has done a great job of rebounding from that pit penalty at the first stage break, lap 70, pitted out of the box. And he's really had to work to get back up from 28th on the
A sub sandwich would make me feel better right now, and I think my Subway might be here.
Was really happy with his car yesterday.
I need a good meatball, man.
Just didn't qualify just how he wanted to.
Do I think Dewdrop and Nikki No. I don't like either of them. I'm not a Nikki Cross or a Dewdrop fan. I'm not a fan of either one of them. Nikki Cross gets on my goddamn nerves. I mean, Dewdrop can work, but Nikki Cross just gets on my fucking nerves.
Probably here more than anyone.
Logano passing Blaney
Even though you felt good
for position.
again, you're usually by yourself.
We're just hanging in there all day, buddy.
Crew chief a long run where he
Coming.
cambers and make sure the air pressures and really get a good read on his hot rod. But from a driver's perspective, it's hard to get a good gauge on what that run really felt like. All the while keeping in the back of your mind, this long run in real life on Sunday when the money's on the line is going to be out there with 40 guys on different strategies, trying to navigate around like you see Blaney getting to the bottom of Todd Gilbert and making moves. Those are all the things that you can't, work on Saturday or feel.
So everybody in the top 15 made 2 stops in this stage, except
I got me a
Christopher Bell in
sandwich.
second place and Denny Hamlin in 14th place.
More importantly, I got something to drink.
The 1 stop.
Fuck.
Here we go, stage 2. Here's a snapshot of Martin Truex's day on pit road. There are the 3 stops. The first one at the stage break. And the second
2 to go in stage 2.
and both right around.
How about Bell, though, on that shitty strategy, still running top 5?
Yeah, look where Hamlin
You
fell.
heard me say earlier the job that I felt like Christopher Bell in that 20 car was doing.
Bell is so good on short tracks.
Managing, where to get past on fresher
He might win when we go to Bristol.
And I think you don't have to look any
That,
further.
you know what? That's what I was thinking.
His teammate both on the same side.
He should be one of the favorites at the Bristol Dirt Race, obviously.
100% correct. But again, let's go back to our pre-race conversation with Denny Hamlin.
I got me some
He
Subway.
had confidence in his car, so maybe it's just the delta between where his car
They should make me the
has progressed and where
spokesperson.
his
At least I'm not a
car's at.
pedophile like fucking Jerry
But
was.
still, once again, I'm going to go back. I gotta reinforce this. He's got an extra set of tires.
Yeah.
And that's going to help them at the end of this race if we start to get some rapid cautions.
We can only hope for rapid cautions, Chad.
Caution free. And Toyota takes stage 2. Martin Truex on a 2.
Truex wins stage winner, MTJ.
On
Truex.
1 stop.
True reject.
It's Truex's 5th stage.
Martin Truex Jr.
Tied for the most ever.
Tied for the most stage wins ever at Richmond. Interesting.
What tag team do I like in AEW? FTR. FTR is the best tag team in the fucking world. WWE dropped the ball on that big time. Vince McMahon has never valued tag team wrestling. He never really has. How awesome would it have been last night when the lights go out and we're going to find out who Seth Rollins' opponent is and that fucking Stardust music hits. Stardust. Stardust, baby. That's my son, Cody. He's a star, daddy. I don't really care about the ASMR of me chewing the sandwich. I am hungry. It's good shit, pal. In the words of Vince McMahon, this is such good shit, pal. Vince McMahon sent Pat McAfee a text at 3 a.m. and it was a video of Vince in his gym deadlifting 1,000 pounds. And Pat McAfee was like, who the fuck does that at 3 a.m.? So first of all, this man is 76 years old. I should have sponsors because I could plug this. If it's a sponsor I actually like, I'd plug the shit out of it. Like Powerade or something.
Powerade. I'd take Domino's. Domino's will be a good one.
At the Little Caesars at this point. I had that stuffed crust from Little Caesars the other day, and they always have to make them pizzas fresh. Ooh, fucking delicious, dude. Get stuffed crust. They have to make those fresh every time.
Stop strategy in second, and with an extra set of tires.
Well, I'm in
His
11.
final run of 170
Dale, I think you
laps
and
to
your
the checkered
teammates
flag.
got the best shot.
Two Toyotas led Ross Chastain Chevy. Logano and Blaney in Fords to the checkered
Because I
to the
think
green
Ross
and white
just showed
checkers.
really
Then
everybody
Elliott,
what a short
Harvick, Kyle
field is.
Busch, Larson, and Keselowski all receiving stage points.
And you mentioned Keselowski. Let's watch this right here because he's only a little bit behind where the 19 is, but they're pitted in front of the 19. So let's see if 19 has any trouble getting off of pit road with that 6 car right in front of him.
Let's find out.
Regan.
Well, Ross Chastain, the one car, struggling right now to keep the rear tires on that race car. Maybe spinning too much. That 19 of Martin Truex Jr., they adjusted on that last
You want some?
No, I don't eat them. I was just saying. I was like, that's what I'm
Well, some are for my uncle and Janet, and the rest are for all of us.
We're going in the right direction with the 9, but this time Jason
And I was hoping you'd eat some. So please, Dylan, save me, because if those are in there, I'm going to want to eat some.
keep up with the rest of them.
I can, and I probably will.
That's too sweet.
It's what?
It's too sweet.
It's what?
Too sweet.
Truex, Bell, Chastain, Logano, Kyle Busch gained 3 spots. Blaney and Elliott lose spots. Here we go.
Apparently Gibbs is doing something new with
To
their
your
pit
question,
stops.
Chad, Brad
I seen
Keselowski
something in
stopped
the news
deep in his
article
pit
about
box
it.
because he had an empty box.
I think that's
in
what they
front
were
of him.
showing that
No
replay of
conflict
Denny
there,
Hamlin
Greg.
earlier.
Guys, let's get to the 19, the stage 2 winner. Martin Truex
Jinx the
Jr.
stage winner, please.
What's up, the booth? You got us?
Nothing against Truex, they just ain't going to win me money.
Man, how about that strategy? Old James Small got you in first, got you out. Strategy's on point. You're holding a pretty wheel out there. Tell me what you have.
Yeah, Auto Owners Camry's been pretty good. Obviously, pretty difficult to pass out there. So strategy.
I don't like hearing that, but it's true. Pretty difficult to pass. Welcome to Richmond.
We got track position for the final stage here, so we'll do our best to keep our balance where it needs to be and hang on to this lead.
We've officially hit does Richmond really need 2 races territory.
You wasn't lying to us. Fast car, doing a good
They
job.
should do
Bill.
one of
Keep it
those
up and
races
good luck.
here where the leader doesn't win
Yeah, appreciate
second
it.
place.
I would never lie to you.
Mark Truex Jr. has won 3 of the last 5 races at Richmond.
Oh my God, this is a snooze fest.
Does Richmond need 2 races? I would say no. Can we go to a shorter short track? I'm going to be one of them boomers and say, North Wilkesboro! Rockingham, I mean, fuck. Richmond can lose a race to Rockingham. We ain't going to lose any sleep if we only go to Richmond once a year. Richmond, excuse me, Richmond hasn't been great. I swallowed my Powerade down the wrong pop. So I'm like, now I'm John Laurinaitis over here. My name is John Laurinaitis, and I'm the Executive Vice President of Talent Relations and the General Manager of Monday Night Raw. What I was saying, Richmond has struggled with attendance. That crowd today looks pretty good, though. If only the racing matched the crowd. Bowman Gray having a cup race, yeah. In what timeline? In what universe? What in the NASCAR multiverse? They race at Bowman Gray. For those of you just tuning in, you ain't missed a fucking thing. Never thought the day would come where I'm like, can this race be over? Because I'm ready to go watch WrestleMania later.
Oh boy, that's a weird thought.
I ain't had that feeling in about,
God.
a decade.
They are really trying to make WWE exciting.
Yeah, is NASCAR going out of their way to make WWE look good?
You know, The Undertaker was there, what was it, last week?
He was there last night. He was backstage.
No, I'm talking about NASCAR.
Oh, wait, yeah, he was at Coda.
Yeah.
The Undertaker.
So they got something tied in with the WWE.
As long as you have the drive. Goodyear. More driven.
Where's Papa Shango to put the hex on the France family so they have to sell NASCAR?
So we've seen how the different strategies play out as far as one stop or two stop. Clint, what do you want on this final stage?
I'm just going to listen to Chad. Hey, at the end of the day, James Smalls, we saw it, and all kidding aside, him beating everybody, making the bold call to bring his car in, being the first one to do that, put him ahead. He was the one that could take off on those tires, utilize them, and that call ended up winning that stage.
I knew it was going to be exciting. I saw it in the cars.
See this, folks? This is all of his notes on strategy and everything else. The only note I needed is this one right here. You see that? That's exactly what happened last time, and I think that's what's going to happen again.
I think you come into this final stage, you're going to see a similar set of circumstances.
Track position's king. Do whatever it takes to get track position. Hope that the 19 has a mistake. Whoever's just out front is just going to take off.
Right after the start. So it'll be
certain cars quicker than others as far as taking off. We got Truex, Bell, Chastain, and Logano, followed by Blaney and Kyle Busch. They're going to launch Truex got there. Please tell me Ross, Logano, and Chastain, or Ross, Bell, and Logano have something for them. Big stack up, middle of the pack. Big stack up. 4 wide. Harrison Burton couldn't get out of the gas fast enough back there.
There's my racing. Who said this track sucks?
Finally, so that looks good for the commercials for next year's race. Logano around the outside of Bell for second. Dylan, this is what we love to see. We're going to win money 2 weeks in a row. Because Truex's pit crew will fuck it up. I hate to have to cheer for Logano, but if he wins, I get $26. So if I'm going to get anything out of this boring race, I'll take money. Apparently there was almost a wreck off of turn 4, but we can't see it.
I love hearing them.
We don't need a caution right now. We need a caution later in the race to spice it up. Blaney just sent Ross Chastain out to the wall. So Blaney did get him back. So Blaney hit Ross. Ross got Blaney back. And now Blaney got Ross back. He better hope that one car don't get back to him now. Because it's Blaney 2, Ross Chastain 1. That's the score right now.
And I don't think it's going to be pretty this time.
This time Chastain's going to do a lot more than nudge you out of the way. Blaney had been waiting for like 100 laps to get back to him. Oh, yeah. Blaney drove in deep on the outside to hit Ross.
It's been a long time since that happened.
And Blaney's been thinking about it all day.
To the first time those two met on the track and listen to some audio.
Ross has fallen about 4 spots back from Blaney now. Oh, somebody in the wall off of 2. Oh, Cody Ware.
Oh, Blaney's about to shit his pants.
Cody Ware, caution. Oh my God, guys, this race got interesting. Truex still leading though, so not really. But my pick is in second.
That's what all those notes are for.
Chad, we could have been something together, man. You think we'd have made magic right there, buddy? Yes.
Who's the free pass?
Purple cars this week with Brad and his teammate Chris Buescher having a
Stenhouse has damage. Cody Ware's got a right front down and hit the wall.
Stenhouse here.
I wasn't sure who Cody Ware got together with, but we saw the outcome. And you'll see it here out the front of Kurt Busch's Monster Energy on board.
Thanks for getting back out there, Kurt, providing us
Ooh,
possible footage.
the 43 got, I think the 43 hit the 51.
Jones looked like he got pretty sideways off the front bumper. 43.
Eric Jones said, what the fuck am I doing racing with Cody Ware? Bam! Get him out of there.
Without Stenhouse there, he would have been in the outside wall really hard.
So hard.
Only the second caution for cause today. The first one was.
All right, Logano, here's our chance. Take the money. Get a good restart here.
I just want to see what Ross is on.
It's a question of whether
I think Ross is
what will you do?
Yeah, we've run 5 green flag laps. I think if you're up there near the front, you probably stay out here. We've only got 19 cars on the lead lap. If you're back there outside the top 10, you know what? Smoke them if you got them. Come on in and get smoked.
Well, we saw that.
Keep track position, but like they said, further back, you might as well pit and make a change or something. Hamlin's pitting. Buscher pitting. Byron, Suarez. Bubba.
On to pit road, Chris Buescher comes in with Hamlin, and so does William Byron. Jamie?
Well, Denny Hamlin,
So a few cars back of the lead lap.
Strategy, so that means they have that extra set, so why not? And Larry Mack just said if you're outside the top 10, why not come? Well, the 11 was 11, so they decided to put on a fresh set of sticker tires there. Car right now.
Excuse me, guys. That was
Daniel
delicious.
Suarez also came.
Stop saying he came.
As we're under caution at lap 247 of 400.
God, I love Ross and I love Blaney, so I'm not rooting for either one of them, but I want to see them get back together.
I want to see Ross trash him. I want to see the fight after this.
Like I said, it's kind of fucked up. Blaney hit Ross first. Ross hit it back, and then Blaney just hit him
and
again.
it's getting like just progressively worse
Yeah.
as they've gone.
I thought they were even, but I guess not. I don't know what's going on with my Twitter, but it needs to stop fucking showing the same damn
4
tweets
minutes,
from
yeah.
yesterday. Yeah, turn Richmond into a dirt track. Switch Bristol back
I don't
and
even
turn
think,
Richmond
like,
into a dirt
if they
track.
turn it to a dirt track, they could even bring like the big late models and stuff.
Yeah.
The big tour late models and stuff could race there.
Blaney on Chastain. I'm going to be smart. He fucking thinks he can do anything he wants. You know how I know WrestleMania was so good? I did not get annoyed at them constantly saying, "It's stupendous!"
Oh, yeah. The stupendous.
That's how good it was. I like this picture of Moxley when he realized Samoa Joe's in Ring of Honor, Cody's in WWE, and Austin just had a no-holds-barred match, but it's 2022. It just looks like John Moxley's like contemplating his existence.
Oh boy, there we go.
There's the kids.
This one I want to see.
Hell yeah, heads up. They're showing kids.
I love when they cut back from commercial, the camera's on kids, and then they change it to these.
Austin Dillon 19th, all right in the pack there. And all on the lead lap. Back to Chase Briscoe in 20. Pass. Now, Clint's Stage 2 contest has has one question that airs in stage 3, and that is which of 6 past winners here will have the best finish. And 138 of you are still alive for a shot of that $10,000 on the Fox Bet Super 6 app. Good luck.
138 people still in the game, baby.
Truex Logano, Toyota Ford on the front row. 2 Toyotas.
Here we go, Logano. Steal that money. God damn it, Truex is blistering them on these restarts.
Look at Ross.
Ross packing it in 3 wide. You think he's trying to get back to that 12 car?
He's there.
He's just about there, yeah. 3 wide, Bowman, Keselowski, Elliott.
Ross is sending that.
Yeah, Ross is driving deeper than anybody. And he's got Blaney right in front of him. that big target on the back of that 12 car is all the motivation Ross Chastain needs right now.
Oh, he's on his bumper.
Oh. They're going to turn 3, and Ross is behind Blaney.
You couldn't have slid a piece of paper in Chastain.
Was it close enough to drive in and hit him that time? He's having trouble. I think Ross's car is not handling well, but he's driving the shit out of it. He's making up for it.
He's on wait on Harvick to get by and just fucking dive bomb.
Harvick and Blaney side by side. This could open the door for Ross to get back to Blaney, although Elliott just went around the outside of Ross.
Some beef that is.
Yeah.
One thing we haven't talked about today at all is the fact that traffic really impairs your ability to progress. What ends up happening is you can have a faster car than that guy in front of you, but this track is so aerosensitive and it's so difficult to get a run on somebody that you can end up running the exact same speed as somebody ahead of you that's running slower, and you can't do anything about it.
Truex, Logano, Bell, Kyle Busch, Harvick, Blaney, Elliott. Chastain's being a real nuisance right now to all these guys.
I remember it's so funny you said that. One of my last memories of this place, I thought I had it won. I think everybody did. I was lights out fast that night, got to Truex.
Blaney has Elliott and Hamlin between him and Ross now, so he's safe for now. Oh, wreck off of 2. Caution's out. It's Cindric. I don't think he hit anything, though. Custer got into Cindric. Hey, guys, it's happening. It's happening. It's getting interesting. Finally, a race worth watching.
And it's so important when you catch them, you have to pounce on it now, or that opportunity.
I don't know, we still got 140
Here's your replay on this.
Eric Jones again, though?
I didn't see a bad angle.
Eric Jones again? Or did Custer just lose it? Oh, Todd Dillon
Gets in the 41.
Damn.
came up a little bit, hit the 41, spun Cindric. Nobody hit anything, really, other than each other.
Nonetheless, those two are the ones that got together.
I can say we crashed.
Cindric was innocent on that one.
Was the outcome of them two getting together. So impressed.
Hopefully didn't knock that spoiler up in the air when he touched the wall.
But still, last year with that car, you'd have had tremendous amounts of damage. This thing,
I think Cindric's fine. Just he backed it in the wall a little bit. These cars,
Listen to us and Cindric's team here.
Ty Dillon and Custer are side by side in this caution. See, I'm so glad his spotter explained to him that he got hit into you instead of saying, he just dipped you. How many times do you hear a spotter say, oh, he dipped you? It's like, yeah, he got hit into you. So Cindric's spotter had his back, told him that Ty Dillon hit the 41 and knocked him into him.
That's the key right there. I don't know that we ran enough laps, but one of the cars that hit pit road when we were out there was the 11. Where's the 11 running right now? 7th position, and he's got new.
I think it's still too soon for this top 5 to pit or whatever.
Right now, I think they hold serve.
I still think it's too soon.
Yeah, because we keep going with these cars.
Well, looks like they're going to pit. Hamlin's going to stay out and take the lead. Oh, no, Hamlin pitted. What a missed opportunity for Hamlin. They just pitted and only run a couple laps, and he's pitting with these guys that he was already running behind. If I was Hamlin, I'd have had him stay out there. If I was the crew chief, Hamlin would have stayed out there. Everybody else pitted, though. Can we get a good pit stop and get Logano out front, win some money? You're not going to beat the Gibbs guys on pit road today, I don't think. Slow stop for Blaney. I felt like that was a slow stop. Oh! Logano's car can't get jacked. Yeah, I'm fucked.
It's like he can't get
140 laps to go. I'm done. Well, there goes my money. So now I can just root for whoever instead of having to root for somebody I don't like. Truex, Bell, Blaney, Harvick, Kyle Busch, Elliott. Slow stop for Logano. And he's the last car coming off pit road. God damn it. Oh, there goes my money. With 140 to go, as hard as it is to pass, he ain't getting back in it. Especially with all the cautions now, getting everybody and their grandmother back on the lead lap. It's doing me no favors. Oh well. At least I jinxed Logano, so it was worth it. Every time I open Twitter, I'm seeing the same fucking tweets I saw yesterday, and I have to scroll so far just to find a new one from today. Why is that? I'm seeing the same 4 Dave Meltzer tweets from last night every time I open Twitter. Parker Kligerman just mentioned what I said earlier. He said, new car or not, unsealed Richmond is still unsealed Richmond. So that's in reference to what I said earlier when Junior said when they stopped putting the sealer down is when Richmond got shitty. Put the fucking sealer down. Do something. What happened to my leaderboard? Why did it like scroll up? I have no idea why or how that happened. But I'm not okay with it. Don't do it again, bitch. You hear me, computer?
Is that right? Stage 3 is 170 laps?
Yeah. Well, we're coming to the green. Byron, Suarez, and Austin Dillon stayed out. So finally, somebody stayed out like I said they should. Byron, Suarez, Austin Dillon. Here's Byron's chance to steal one for Hendrick. And he takes off. Build a nice lead here while Suarez and Austin Dillon are backing everybody up. There's not that much of a difference between these tires at the moment. And I know Byron's got a good car. Look at Logano, 3 wide mid-pack around the outside with Reddick and Bowman. Logano's doing a good job of gaining some spots back. I don't know if he can get back in race win contention. 3 wide, Hamlin, Busch, and Harvick. Bowman got loose on the bottom of 2. He hit the apron. Everybody's driving a lot harder now. Austin Dillon's the first car of the 3 that stayed out to get freight trained here. He's getting passed on all sides. And he's blocking the 20 into turn 1 like he did Suarez earlier. And Bell lost the nose of his car. Backed up Ross Chastain behind him. Well, Austin Dillon's going to chop you going into those corners. At this point in the race, you'll get moved for that.
Downforce is made on the air, utilizing the air underneath the car now.
4th, 5th place Hamlin going after Blaney for 4th.
Truex trying to get by Suarez for 2nd. Byron's got about an 0.8 of a second, about a full second lead now. I don't know what Meltzer rated the matches at WrestleMania. I don't think he's put those up yet.
He needed to take off and hide because I believe there's the one car that can hold your laptop.
My two picks, Logano and Briscoe, were 15th and 16th, but at least Briscoe is on the lead lap. Ooh, Keselowski got sent up out of the groove there off of 4. Did he get sent by Bowman? Or did he just get loose?
Keselowski 13th. And he missed turn 3 and 4 that last time around. Took the long way.
That's a Hendrick sandwich right there.
Blaney underneath Suarez.
Suarez pestering this top 5. Truex is hawking down Byron. He was 9/10 back. He's 6/10 back now. I still like staying out there for Byron and Suarez. It worked out good for them. Especially Byron. He's still leading. But Truex is gaining like a 10th every corner, it seems.
Now, Joey Logano had those issues on pit road. He restarted 18th and he's gained 2 spots. But Regan, what was the problem?
Well, Mike, as you said, saw the car sitting there. The jack actually locked up. They could not get the car down.
Joey's jack locked up.
They had to swap that out for another jack. Tough break for Joey.
Lose money because a fucking piece of pit equipment fails. Truex is there. He's caught William Byron pretty fast.
And heavy traffic ahead.
I wish Byron could do enough to help Blaney catch up to Truex. But I don't think he's going to be able to do enough.
Jamie, how about our new leader, William Byron?
Yes, William Byron's leading his
What a good
first
time to cut to him.
at Richmond in his 8th start. I talked to his crew chief, Rudy Bugle. He said this driver is so amazing. You know, this was kind of his weakness on short tracks, but he has gone out. He's racing late model races whenever he can. He's working on his craft as a race car driver on short tracks, learning how to take what the car can give you, not over-driving it. And that's kind of what we've seen in this race so far. And Chad, what have you seen out of this young driver and his progress?
I've seen an awful lot of success out of that 24 team since I got away from it. I can tell you that. They've done an amazing job.
Speed bump Austin Dillon, slowing up Chastain. Harvick gets by on the inside for 8th.
They've run up front. They've led a bunch of laps. So really proud of that 24
Byron still leading by about 2/10 over Truex.
And I think this is exactly kind of plays into what I was trying to explain about myself and Truex. Truex caught him. He was way faster than him, caught right to the back bumper of that 24. And now you look down, not only is he not matching his times, he was a 10th off of a lap up of the 24. So you kind of get to that bubble, and if you don't capitalize on that opportunity, now you kind of find yourself stuck in a little bit of a bubble.
Byron's hanging on.
You start getting into lap traffic, and then you can work on an angle and try to pick him on a lapper.
It's exactly what we spoke about just a moment ago. 100%. What is there, 5, 6 green flag laps between tires in those cars? And we know the 19th went super fast all day long, and he's going to continue to wrap the bottom, wait for William to get to where his tires are falling apart a little bit. But man, that 22 is trying to cruise up through the field right now as he's trying to get back up towards the front, all the way back up to the 11 already.
He sure is. 11 just made the pass on 12 of Blaney.
So Hamlin to 3rd. Let's look at our Xfinity fastest laps of the day. Now, this is the last lap. William Byron, a 71.
Byron was faster than Truex the last 2 laps, and he's holding on to 3/10 of a second. Truex had it down to 2, and now Byron's got it at steady between 2 and 3/10.
Had about a 10th and a half to 2 tenths. He was faster.
Truex gained some coming out of 2 that time.
Looks like the nose is starting to push a little bit, getting tight behind him.
God, it's so hard to pass. Byron really just stayed out and stole this.
Boy, Gibbs.
There'll be another opportunity coming.
Everybody still has to pit at least one more time. A lot of guys will pit twice. I wouldn't be surprised.
Kyle, who races what? 100 races a year, you know, outside of the Cup Series, and now you have all the Hendrick drivers doing this, but that was not the norm. Hendrick drivers raced the Cup Series. They didn't even race on Saturday at the Cup tracks.
It was really funny. We really discouraged it there for a long period of time but it's a different time.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you when Jimmy Johnson was kicking ass only running Cup? So why would somebody at Hendrick need to run Xfinity?
And
Now I don't mind them running trucks and dirt races and shit. But Jimmy Johnson, it was so funny to me. We've ranted about this before where I'm like, oh man, look at all those Xfinity races that Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards won. Yeah, look at all them Cup championships Jimmy Johnson won while they were doing it. Went on Saturday, get your ass kicked by the 48 on Sunday. It was a tradition for about 5 years in a row.
And I think Kyle Larson has definitely been the guy that has pushed this out there, because we've seen it not only with our guys in Hendrick Motorsports, we've seen a lot of guys, they go and they race anything, quarter midgets, but that little dirt track that everybody goes to.
Byron is still leading.
Race all through there, so it's definitely the trend.
I think you can see that in about any driver.
Briscoe for 12th.
When I was racing in the Xfinity Series,
Yeah, I got Briscoe better than Logano now. Briscoe's 12th.
and racing the Cup, I was just like you said. I was practicing double time on the weekends, racing that series, racing trucks when I could, racing whenever I could. That seat time was so much of my advantage. Look at Kyle Busch, and when he used to run Xfinity trucks, everything else. That was looking back on it all when he was dominating everything. Kyle Larson goes.
Put Sealer on Richmond or don't bother fucking coming back here. Byron stretched it out to 4/10 now.
William Byron is leading, but Martin Truex.
Truex is still close enough to do something, but I figured he would have blew by him by now.
Boring.
Still boring race. Got spicy there for a couple of minutes, though. Do whatever it takes to get track position, man. Fuck. So the New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland's been added to tonight because it got cut from yesterday. So at least well, hopefully nothing gets cut tonight. I don't see a match on the show that could get cut except their match. They wouldn't dare cut the women's tag title match. You realize how much shit they'd catch for that? You could cut Bobby Lashley versus Omos, but you can't cut Lashley's match.
Mike Tomlin told Mitch Trubisky to earn that spot.
If Randy Orton wasn't in that tag title match, I'd say cut that if you needed to cut something, but that's going to be good because Randy Orton's in it. Byron is still leading during the commercial. We need some late cautions to shift that was it a good race poll for the Jeff Gluck Twitter page. Single digit lead changes. That's kind of shitty for this season. And we're back. Willie B, Truex, Denny Hamlin on those fresher tires. If I'm not mistaken, or am I confused? Oh, he's got fresher tires than Byron, because Byron stayed out. So fuck me, I was wrong about Hamlin. They pitted and they've gotten faster than the guys they pitted with, so good adjustment. Whatever they did to Hamlin's car, it worked. He's third. Suarez is still top 10. Well, he was. He just fell out. Actually, no, he's back in.
He just keeps hanging out that top 5. Remember, at least one more pit stop to go.
Next Saturday, Trump's going to be in North Carolina. Well, it's a shame I'm going to be in Virginia, so I can't go spit in his face. I'll be in Virginia. I'll be at Martinsville.
Won 3 of the last 5 races here.
You mean that cunt that lost the election's going to be here next Saturday? No way. Damn, I'll sell my Martinsville ticket so I can go point and laugh at him for not getting reelected. For being the first president since George Bush Sr. to not get reelected. Because he's a fucking loser. Sucks to suck. I've only ever voted once in my life. But I've only ever voted once in my life, but I never voted for some fucking loser. I backed the winner. You guys know I'm good at picking winners. I just can't bet on them in the races because their odds are too good.
And that is today's Credit One Bank One Store.
I didn't know it was.
People will come for all over with their cousins. I mean, their wives. I mean, the same. They're the same.
When I just pick last, you take liberty.
I love it. Boy, we're gonna take
Is Eric Jones going to cause his traditional late race caution when something breaks on the 43 car?
just to make sure we hit properly.
Hey, that's another big maybe.
Just like you,
Truex losing ground to Byron. It's up to almost 6/10 now.
has brought to the table, to the forefront for NASCAR.
Chastain's out of the top 10.
You know, when you try to strategize this race in our Tuesday morning meetings, it's out the window because it truly is any.
I'll be at Martinsville and Bristol.
front with good strategy like
So
we
my
saw
next 2 weeks are busy.
with William Byron at 24, the 12.
When did you want to get the Bristol tickets after we get back from Martinsville and see what it's going to take?
Yeah, it has, and there's another little twist.
We're getting Bristol tickets the week of. Back in the day, that would have been unheard of. We'd have been shit out of luck.
I personally think this may be a little
Busher pitting.
to try to start your pit cycle.
Like I said, guys are going to pit extra times.
Today, who knows what's going to shake out. He could be
This is going to make guys start pitting.
and bring everybody down the road.
He was a lead lap car, running 2 spots behind his teammate Brad Keselowski, who is 60.
See how Byron handles this lap traffic if that helps Truex at all. I feel like Truex has the better car, but can't fucking pass at this place.
Position here, probably, hopefully see enough
Pretty lame.
strategy, and that'll benefit him.
I think that's the option where he's going to go and try to double pit this deal for 3 stints, or he's hoping that he's going to drag everybody else down pit road and he's the first guy to pit, and he gets a little bit of leapfrog out of that way. What a great race this has turned out to be.
Chad Canals lying through his goddamn teeth. You know why he said that? A Hendrick car's leading. And he's the president of competition or whatever at Hendrick. So that's why Chad said this is a great race, because one of his cars is leading.
I guess from his perspective, shit ain't got tore up.
Yeah, he's got 4 cars with no damage and one's leading the race. Ty Dillon is being a motherfucker right now. Okay, Byron clears him. 100 laps to go.
Seems to be like a good time for
Oh boy, it's a crank it up. Wah.
Too bad we'll miss this segment.
You know, I made fun of Joseph Lombard earlier. He used to do that when he was playing NASCAR games on YouTube. He'd turn off his mic and turn up the game audio. Crank it up.
Sorry.
Man, I'm like Ricky Bobby. I like winners. Not dumb orange fat fucks with bad hair that can't get reelected because he was such a fuck up. It is so rare. Off topic, I know. Not even making fun of him. Even though I am making fun of him. But do you realize how rare it is for a president to not get reelected? Like, that just does not happen. Fucking
I did not expect that to be what you was going to say.
George Bush Sr. and Jimmy Carter were the last 2. So that's like 2
I did not expect that.
in however many years. He's one of the illustrious 2.
Oh, boy. That was hilarious.
And Jimmy Carter wasn't even a bad one. I like Jimmy Carter. So I studied presidents and all that shit in school. That was like one of the things I read a lot about. So I was like, man, Jimmy Carter seemed like he was kind of cool. Why the fuck didn't he get reelected? Oh, he was a pussy and lost the support of his own party? Okay. Makes sense.
Looks like we're under caution.
Michael, remember, this is Richmond without the sealer sprayed on the racetrack. So it's not really Richmond. Why won't they just spray that damn track down with the sealer like they used to? I'm usually against putting shit on the racetrack, but to find out that that's the reason Richmond was good for all them years. Somebody's on. Oh, Kurt Busch's onboard froze. Byron's still in front of Truex. I feel like this lap traffic's going to hurt Byron more than Truex, though. And you're seeing it right there as he runs up on the 38, I think. No, it's 34. McDowell. Couldn't see who.
That thing's been loose. Usually it'll come to you in a long run. It's not coming to me.
If a car in the top 5 pits, that's going to change everything.
Sounds to me like
Car in the top 5 or top 10.
Jamie?
Well, Mike, I'm looking at the top 10.
So far, Buscher's the only one that pitted. Buscher pitted. He was the only car in the lead lap that's pitted yet.
This year, so as a camp, they came here with 4 different setups, and so far it's been pretty good. I've been watching
Yeah.
the 11 and Denny Hamlin.
All I did was put my lap down.
Tough titties, said the kitty.
Impressive for their liking, but their strategy has been good. And remember, Denny Hamlin, for the first time in his career, no top 10s in the first 6 races. He needs a good finish here today.
Eric Almirola has pitted, so has
I don't know what they did to Denny's car, but it worked. He's the big improvement on this run. Him and Larson. Larson's 6th now. Harvick just pitted. We got a car in the top 10. Pitted. 92 to go.
It's the hardest thing for me to do, not talk on this thing, and I heard it coming.
Chase Elliott pitted.
I thought I was hearing Clint trying to talk during and crank it up, and he said it's hard for him to be quiet.
Riding on board with Chase Elliott right now as he gets the countdown before Kevin Harvick is in, who's way too tight. Chase Elliott, though, he's just saying, I don't know what happened in this.
I know why the courts didn't overturn it, because there was no fucking fraud.
Austin Dillon. Christopher Bale.
Austin Dillon. Rookie Harrison Burton's had a good race today. He's in his one.
Bell's pitting.
Harrison Burton pit. I might set him up.
Game changer. He's too far back. Yeah. Ooh, God.
And Denny Hamlin.
Ham sandwich on pit road. Now the question is, who pits again? They'll pit with about 45, 50 to go, something like that after this. Byron's pitting now. He beat Truex to pit road. That's huge.
Truex ain't gonna win the race.
Yeah, I think that just cost Truex the race. Byron beat him to pit road. How they let that happen with Byron right in front of him, I'll never know. Denny's going to have a damn good shot. Hamlin's going to have a shot at winning this.
Same for Tyler Reddick. Jamie.
I think Hamlin's got the best shot of the top 5 before they all started pitting.
They're doing the Gibbs style.
No adjustments, pretty happy with it the way it's rolling here in this final stage.
Corey LaJoy, too fast on pit road.
And this is really interesting right now. I think we're watching this strategy.
Truex going to pit this time. He has to, pretty much.
These guys have pitted the
He didn't. Okay, Truex going to try the other strategy.
I have to say, from this point through, this is one stop as opposed
Yep.
to 2 stops for the rest of the race.
All right, he's going to be, though. They're going to try to catch everybody a lap down, it looks like. But I like pitting. I think pitting's the right strategy. Pitting there is the one that's going to win. Yeah, my cars are on the strategy I don't agree with, so I'm kind of hoping it works out for them. I'm 7th and 8th.
Well, I like it, though. His poker face is good.
Yeah, you'll see that. The 19, if all holds true the way it is right now, about 15 more laps, I think, before they hit pit road.
15. So the top 10 were all on pit road at lap 250.
That's a lot of time to give up.
Daniel Suarez, who was there 10 laps.
I like the cars that pitted already. So remember that at the end of the race, whether I'm right or wrong, I said I like Byron's strategy over Truex's. This is like watching a Pocono race with that 550 package is what this is like. It's all strategy bullshit, you know.
I mean, it brings some excitement.
Yeah. Something to follow. I just hope it works out for Briscoe and Logano so I can get some money. Chastain's pissed off at Austin Dillon. 4 wide. Chase, Eric Jones, Harrison Burton, and Custer. Ooh, how was that not a fucking wreck?
Good Lord.
Harrison Burton lit the fucking brakes up to not wreck there. I'm surprised NASCAR didn't throw a caution when they saw all that smoke. Sometimes they throw a caution just when they see smoke. Jesus. A little bit.
He would have killed Cole Custer.
Elliott kind of put him in that spot. He went down on him 4 wide.
That was great. And we keep seeing replays of it.
Yeah. Well, hell, there ain't nothing else going on from a racing standpoint. The top, 10 cars are on this strategy of running long.
Oh, Denny Hamlin is right there with
Pitting one less time, I believe, is the play for them. I just don't see the cautions happening to help out Briscoe and Logano, Truex, and all those guys. But you never know.
But really, the more cars that get their lap back, the less it matters. A caution.
Yeah, they need the caution quicker. It is interesting on tracks where, like, you can go so far on gas, but your tires just ain't going to make it, so you pit multiple times more than you would have on other tracks. It's like the one thing Richmond has going for it, even though it's confusing to follow.
Yeah, when they pit, that's...
I always forget that strategy is a thing until the race starts. I'm like, oh, that's confusing.
I bet Olivia was the reason they changed their
Yeah, because they were clearly better. Truex is clearly better than Byron. I just don't know how you can't run them down and pass them. That just confuses the shit out of me. What's up with Blaney?
Yeah, that didn't seem quite... How's this? And anything that I've got in front of me and Larry Mack's been coaching me through this race, I don't see where this is going to be a huge benefit, but it's going to be interesting here. Jamie, what have you got down there on the 12th?
What's up with Blaney? He's pitting. Time for a real bad pit stop to finish him off. Larson on pit road. Suarez, Chastain, Briscoe. I think Truex's guys threw the race away on a bad strategy deal. Ideally, these guys would have liked to have needed to run longer. To have less laps to run on the set.
Are we going to be the loners on the strategy deal? Logano and Bowman? Which I don't know.
Logano just pitted. Bowman's still staying out.
So that's really an interesting player in there.
Larson, Briscoe, Chastain, and Kyle Busch are all in, Larry.
Yeah, I think what Chad said earlier, when they laid the gauntlet, Jonathan Hassler, they were the first.
Hamlin gained about 2.5 seconds through that sequence to stay with Byron, and he's going to be ahead of Truex by a long shot. Although now that these guys have fresher tires, that'll balance out. Truex will gain a lot of that time back, but I just don't see. You can't pass, so he'll get right about back to where he was at best with Byron.
In all of our meetings in preparation for this race, Chad, I listened to
But
you.
Truex is going to come tearing up through here and gain a lot of that time back.
When we're going to pit, be the first one to do it because you're going to reap the benefits not only on that stop, you're going to have the first one on tire to be able to get through the traffic better. Huh?
Bowman, the last car to pit.
And I like that strategy of the 12th car and Ryan Blaney being the first one to lay that gauntlet down like Larry said.
Here's Alex Bowman to pit road, the last lead lap car to pit. Bubba Wallace had to make a second stop because the right rear was loose.
They had another loose wheel on Bubba second week in a row. He had to pit for it. At least he made it to pit road for it this time, unlike last week. Way to go, 23 team. Boy, 2311 Racing really is on it, aren't they? They suck. 2311 Racing sucks. And you can't say shit of, it's your second year. Look at Trackhouse. It's their second year. Look how fucking good Chastain and Suarez are doing. So step your game up.
1.6 seconds.
Well, we can't exactly say that one of their car owners of 2311 brought a championship pedigree, considering he has none.
Last lap by, Byron was a tenth quicker than Denny Hamlin, and half a tenth quicker than third place Kevin Harvick.
And all of which are on the same pit schedule at this point in time.
The car with the freshest tires is Martin Truex in 6th place. You see he pitted just 5 laps ago, Blaney just 7 laps ago. Let's see if they can make any inroads in that front 5.
Well, he's running right now. Martin Truex is running around at about a 23:40 second lap. And you go up and you look at William Byron, he's running the 24 flats to 23:90s. So he's gaining an awful lot of time on them. So that's where this whole flip-flop of when you pit once versus...
Any way you slice it, 2311 Racing's a letdown so far. When you can't even run good with Kurt Busch, you've got a problem. They've backed into good finishes with Kurt Busch, but they're not running good. I don't care what anybody says. They've gotten lucky with some finishes with Kurt. But when you can't run good with Kurt Busch, you're doing something wrong.
Still can't get used to the fire coming out on the left side.
But it's, I mean, Gibbs is down as well. They're having a good race today, but they're generally not running good. So maybe it's a Toyota thing. I don't know. Oh, God damn, man. Briscoe, that's like the third time today Briscoe's got into somebody off of 2.
And the 14 first got into it. He tried to get into room, drove right in the door of the 15.
Mark Martin saw Briscoe run into Yaley and go, been there, done that.
Slicing and dicing, baby. It's go time. Pay window is
The words of Dusty Road, the pay window, baby. Got to go through the pay window.
Chastain is the first car 1 lap down in 15.
Oh, 3-1.
Battling there with second place Hamlin and with Chase Briscoe, who is now the first car 1 lap down. Michael McDowell has been off.
Byron's got a 3-second lead on Hamlin. Truex is 5th. Truex has gained 3 seconds since he's been back out on track. Maybe a little more, probably about 4 seconds. I don't know the exact interval, 4 or 5 seconds.
Blaney has been out front for 128 laps early.
Yeah, he thought stage 1, boy, this is smooth sailing. This is going to be a nice race for us today. Ever since he started to get back in traffic a little bit, he has been in a dogfight, which seems to be just about every lap. Now, that could have been with Ross Chastain or Kyle Busch.
Logano getting his lap back. Well, he's got to get to Byron first, but I said that pit stop when I said, why didn't Hamlin stay out? And Byron stayed out, and look where he's at. I knew then. I'm like, if you stayed out there, you'd win the fucking race. As long as it goes green and these strategies continue to stay the way they are, that was the winning move, and I was all in on it.
Well, Mike, we talked about shifting earlier in the day, and we knew that it was going to evolve as the day went on.
Somebody might blow a tire. Ask Clint Boyer, is somebody's arm going to start itching out here because it's Richmond? Biggest surprise I've ever seen in NASCAR. That day they announced the playoff format for the first time, I was like, what is this retarded shit?
Shift in the 9 car when we were following along with him, riding along, and then
I don't know. It's hard to say with them. Oh, whoa. Kyle Busch fucking smoking the tires. I thought he was blowing up.
They didn't even say anything about it.
Chase Elliott grabbing a gear there.
downshift. All right, see, did the shift down the back straightaway, still in 4th gear. Gonna roll through 3 and 4.
Reddick, Larson, Busher, 3 wide. And that's for position.
I've heard that a million times. The one at Darlington was
Yeah.
the most amazing one I've ever seen.
That battle was for 8th place, all 3 of them. $60 laps to go. We're going to take you side by side once more. William Byron leading Denny
And Briscoe getting his lap back.
26 seconds.
Byron's got 4.5 seconds over Hamill with 60 to go. I'm sure people all over the world are entertained by this race. I'm not one of them. I remember when I first started streaming this shit a couple years ago now, I was like, okay, Daytona was easy. I was like, the real test is going to be, can I stream a boring race and it be okay? I can. They're not as fun, but I can do it. Wonder if WWE will cut down on the video packages tonight so they don't have to cut the fucking New Day match again. So I said, yeah, New Day gets cut for time. Gee, I'm so glad we had a 2-hour kickoff show, though. And commercials during WrestleMania because we're on Peacock. Denny Hamlin a Hall of Famer? Yeah. Truex? Yeah. Newman is debatable. Newman is debatable.
I think Newman would be where the border would be.
Yeah, he's like right on that borderline.
Like you could, like anybody worse than him, you'd be like, nah.
Yeah.
But anybody slightly better, you're like, okay.
But Hamlin and Truex, yeah. Because remember, when you go to the Hall of Fame, that's when they look at everything you've done in the top in like all the series. So Truex is definitely a shoe-in. He's a 2-time Xfinity champion and a Cup champion, so won all these races over the last however many years now. He's pretty much going to be in. Newman never won a championship in anything. And Truex lit it up 1 year and Cup his entire career. I mean, he was good. I think people sleep on Greg Biffle. Greg Biffle, to me, is a fucking shoe-in. Good God, Logano and Chastain. Greg Biffle's a shoe-in. He won all those Cup races, and he won a truck championship and a Busch championship and a bunch of races in those series. So if Biffle doesn't get in, I have a problem. Keselowski's pitting. Got to draw the line somewhere. And I would probably draw that line right at Ryan Newman and say, you know what? No, he's not quite a Hall of Famer.
The limits of possibility. Goodyear, more driven. 53 laps to go. William Byron, 4.2.
People had the nerve to bitch about Dale Jr., and I'm like, why? He's a Hall of Fame driver and car owner. That's why he got in. So where do you get off bitching about Earnhardt? Kyle Busch has something on his grill. Oh, the fucking shit came off of the grill. Well, that's shitty break for Kyle Busch. Buscher's on pit road.
Whether or not that was put on or not, I mean, that piece right there definitely is debating.
I think we just heard the crew chief say we put a piece of tape on the grill we weren't supposed to.
Wow.
All right, it is illegal to put tape on the grill opening. I've talked to NASCAR, yes.
I didn't know that. It's illegal to put tape on the grill opening. The 18 guys put a piece of tape on Kyle's nose. Now they got to serve a penalty for it. Hey, good news. You're on a new strategy.
They meant to put it over the brake though.
Ah. Son of a bitch. I'm sure Kyle Busch will be very happy about this.
What a costly error. Now to be 2 weeks in a row.
Here comes Kyle to pit road. Put the tape in the right spot this time, 18 crew.
That's a costly error.
That blows for Kyle. It's kind of how his career's been the last year and a half.
I'm going to sit up with the guy a little bit here.
when
2
you watch
years,
those
really.
guys and how fast they reach up there and try to put tape on before he drops the clutch on that thing and takes off. I mean, it's like boom, boom, so fast.
Could this be a product of that new choreography?
Jamie?
And you see it right there. They just pulled the tape right off the grill of the 18. A lot of confusion. You can see the looks of the pit crew guys like, what happened? What did we do wrong? But they pulled it off. He's gone.
Austin Dillon is pitting, and so is Eric Almirola. And more.
Guys are starting to pit again. I said they'd pit about 45 to go, and we're at 47 now.
And this is something that happens. Okay, so the 18 comes down pit road, and everybody's like, maybe we're supposed to be pitting.
See, I told you, I said, good news, Kyle, you're on a new strategy. Don't know if it'll work, but it's a new strategy.
Regan.
This has been a plan all along for the 20-car Christopher Bell. They were going to pit on this lap exactly, counted it down from 10 laps ago until now. He's silent on the radio in that car. Jamie?
Oh, what? Caution now.
Truex is up to second. Hamlin just pitted. Byron should pit ASAP. Byron should pit next time around. Don't stay out there. You'll give the fucking race to Hamlin if you stay out any longer. Because Hamlin was in 3 seconds. We've seen guys jump like 4 seconds on pit road off of short pitting.
All under green. We've had more green flag pit stops today than I think we've had in the whole season to date.
They cut away from Byron. I don't know if he's pitting yet or not. I wish he was.
The biggest thing about these pit stops, yes, they're green flag pit stops that we haven't seen. But, man, one thing that we haven't seen today that we've been seeing all year is mistakes within these pit
Chase
stops.
Elliott missed pit road. Oh, no, he made it. He made it. Woo! I thought Chase was going to miss it.
Things happen and don't speed on pit road, but you have to
Good thing they were changing tires.
underneath that orange box. Again,
WrestleMania starts at 8. The pre-show runs from 6:30 to 8.
Wow, 44 to go. We're almost 3 hours in.
But WrestleMania starts at 8.
As this part of the pit stop cycle concludes, Chad, let's explain why NASCAR no longer allows tape on the grill with this new car.
Educate me.
Cars are aero matched. I don't want to say matched. That's not the problem.
Byron
Aero
still ain't fucking
characterized
pitted.
by NASCAR is with a certain velocity ratio of air going through the grill. Okay, so that's how much air is going through that grill, and that keeps the downforce levels very consistent throughout the manufacturers. So they don't want the teams to be able to do that. Now, all that being said, if you're in a situation to where you want to increase your water temperature, what you can do is there's a plate on the back side of the radiator that you can restrict the airflow from that side of the radiator, but you can only do that before the race begins or before the weekend begins, not during the event.
yeah, you're lying on the bed you made if you do that. And we saw that at California with these
40 to
huge
go
cars. They
next
had
time
that plate
around.
blocked off somewhat, had overheating issues. The rest was history. All of them struggled with it.
Martin Truex is coming.
Oh.
But Larry, that ability to use tape, didn't that take away a pretty important tool in your toolbox?
Well, it did, Mike. But again, to Chad's point, it's just the way the car is structured.
Truex is coming, but not coming fast enough.
It goes through the radiator, out those louvers in the hood, and then there's some that's
I hope after pit stops cycle through, we just get a damn caution to get everybody back on the same page and just go race. For the half lap, you have a chance to pass the leader.
Martin Truex is marching forward. He's about 0.2 of a second per lap faster than
This is where his 13 lap fresher tires or whatever is paying off.
Well, Kyle Busch now, he's a lap down in 14. Ben Bayshore, his crew chief, came on the radio and told Kyle, we added that tape 200 laps ago, and they just called it. So you can imagine the driver not so happy.
So, the tape they made Kyle Busch come down pit road and change or get off the grill, they said they put it on 200 laps ago, and NASCAR didn't say shit, and now they've told them they had to
Ain't
pit.
it funny when they say something that triggers pit stops?
Yeah.
Hold on. You're supposed to tell me, do I need to say these things? Are we going to the end?
They
Are we
want
going
it
to
to change
pitch?
this race.
Strategist, I need help. What do you want me to do inside this race car? How can I help you?
Chad, you would think if they were going to
Almirola, Burton, and Bowman 3 wide in front of the leader. They just passed him. They got fresher tires.
I don't disagree, Larry Mack. It looks to me like it's folding up to where they're going to go ahead and try and keep this thing going. I think it might be a bit of a sitting duck, though, unfortunately.
They are.
A 4.5 second lead.
Yes, because Martin Truex last lap is 0.4 faster than William Byron. And he is on a march.
When it goes back into the job that he does trying to manage these runs. You're out there on old tires, everybody else has fresh tires, so literally every lap you're getting passed by 2 or 3.
Now I'm confused completely about them keeping Byron out this long.
You could just run a clean lap.
Byron should have pitted when Hamlin and Harvick did.
So we've only had 5.
That's what I thought they were going to do.
Races, which we've gone to a lot of racetracks combined.
So I'm confused. What else is new? I'm sleepy too, so that's not helping.
Las Vegas, tracks like that, which would breed that. And then today we've had 4 on one of our most difficult short tracks that we go to.
I think Logano is the leader.
Truex is now within
I wish.
4 seconds of the lead.
Yeah, Byron should have pitted when Harvick and Hamlin pitted around the time Kyle Busch had to pit.
Lane got loose, getting into the corner on the outside of the 11, but again, that goes into what I was saying. It's one thing to do the math and see if it works, if he can just run solid, clean laps as if nobody else is out there. But when you have the 11 of Denny Hamlin get underneath of you, get loose in, there's another half second off that you were not counting on.
Regan?
I'd hate to be Byron driving a car on those tires right now.
Just came on the radio though and said my tires are shot already, so not happy with the tires on that car right now.
13 laps fresher than Byron.
He's got 13 less.
Yeah. Like I said, imagine how Byron feels right now. Truex has 43 laps on his tires and he's complaining. How do you think Byron feels at 56?
Just like Clint was saying, Martin does such a good job.
Denny Hamlin's going to win.
Hamlin and Harvick.
I feel like Hamlin's going to win.
On the racetrack, he does a really good job. This is what the team's got to say now.
Well, none of us understand why the 24 didn't pit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fuck. Like I said, they had the winning strategy. They threw it away.
Once they get into the traffic right
now it's Hamlin and Harvick.
Position on these guys, which again, just got held up right there by the.
That's asking a lot today.
So he lost.
Coming to 30 to go.
18 on back of him. So the 18.
I think Denny's going to win the race.
You hear him
all these things going on.
You hear him getting nervous about the grip level in his car as well.
If I'm Byron, I'm going to ask Rudy Fugle what the fuck was that after this race, because they should have won. They should have won this race. I called it when they did what they did earlier. I didn't think they'd throw it away for no reason.
Passing was a whole different story, and I've seen William Byron's been in a little bit of traffic, has held him up, and it's almost like, you know, a gain and loss each lap. Martin's quicker, but catching and passing is going to be 2 different stories.
Let's go to this story. Right now, Kyle Larson is the fastest car on the racetrack.
100%.
With Chase Briscoe
Now,
and Blaney.
Larson, Blaney, Briscoe, and Hamlin are hauling ass.
Than Byron or Truex.
Absolutely.
Is Larson going to steal it?
Actually, I reached over and hit Chad and pointed that 5 car on the board very, very fast, hanging a 10.5 to 2/10.
Oh, Jones. We almost had our Eric Jones late race caution just now. You see that?
Exactly what Rudy Fugle and William Byron want right now is they want the 5 to get to the tail of that 19. Put pressure on him, slow him down a little bit so they can maintain that lead.
Byron's hanging on, hoping Larson can catch Truex.
That's going to be really tough.
Well, remember point of view. Rudy Fugle.
Just what? I wish they would show a whole lap of Byron, because he's looking rough on that corner exit. He can't get back in the gas worth a damn. And he's having to creep into the corner because it's so tight.
We listened in on the leaders.
It's going to be cutting it close.
With cheerleading, and he's right. But again, it's so important, putting a lot of weight on that driver, William Byron. Try to save the
If they win this race, it's a testament to how good William Byron actually is.
Running 80 green flag.
You have that many laps on your tires at Richmond, you end up winning. 3-second gap. It's been a 3-second gap for a good while now, but there's 26 to go. Larson's fastest car on the track in third, 5 seconds back.
Here's a quick progressive race summary with 25 laps to go. Byron, one of 6 leaders, 12 lead changes. Ryan Blaney's led the most laps. 10 cars on the lead lap. Kyle Busch now the first car 1 lap down. 5 caution flags.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know I've bitched about Richmond all day, but you know what would help? We should shorten this race to 300 laps. Richmond needs to be shorter, and we don't need to go there twice a year. Unless you want to put some sealer down.
Being the 19 and the 24. They got cars on the outside. The 18 just passed the 24 to get his lap back.
Hell, Martinsville's good, and they shortened it to 400 next week.
So those guys right now are both in a big deficit compared to some of these guys that pitted just a little bit ago. They're trying to stay out of harm's way. Glitz just seen it right here.
Hamlin up to 4th. He just passed Blaney. He's too far back to catch Byron and Truex, unless they give up and pit, which they're not gonna at this point.
Absolutely.
No way. Now you're just going to run it out.
It's going to come down to either one of those guys and how they manage these lap cars and get through the traffic.
Because if Truex said his tires are shot, he's going to have to see that. Because, I mean, still 23 to go, and that was 15 laps.
It's about to the point where pitting ain't going to do you any good. Because there's so many cars now that are just committed to not pitting anymore. Like Hamlin, Harvick, Blaney, and Briscoe. And I guess Larson as well. Larson's so fast right now. This is the worst race for me to have on a day where I didn't sleep well. Because my brain is like, can't keep up with the strategy, and it's not that exciting. We're coming to 20 to go. And they're both just struggling out here. Truex and Byron riding the struggle bus with 20 to go.
Truex has a lot of cars.
Yeah. And he has to work a little hard to get it. No matter how slower they are, he's got to work to make the pass without spinning out. Larson's got it under 5 seconds. Hamlin's gained like 3 seconds in the last couple laps. He's still 10 back, though. What's up with Blaney?
I just don't think they have. There's too much real estate in between those cars.
How about Kyle Larson?
Truex gained like 8 tenths that lap. It went from 3 seconds down to like 2.3. Now 2.2.
Kyle's staying in 4th gear. Every once in a while going to 5th gear. And it could be because he's in a
Truex gained a lot that lap. I think he's turning it up now. No way Byron. If Truex gets there, there's no way Byron holds him off. Under 2 seconds, Truex is gaining. Or Truex just is going for it. Truex has it under 2 seconds all of a sudden. Hamlin under 9 seconds all of a sudden. Hamlin's going to just run out of time. At the rate, Larson almost spun. That probably takes him out of contention, losing that time there.
He's taking another lap of lifespan off those tires.
That's going to bring Hamlin right to Larson here.
I think that's exactly what that was. That's a product of being in that 4th gear. And
About a second and a half for Truex now behind Byron. Denny's fast too, but I just think he's going to run out of time. He's going to be able to see them at the end of the race. He's going to be able to see them at the end of the race, but not be close enough to do anything. Suddenly Byron just can't do anything.
17 laps to go.
3 cars between. 2 of them, 2 wide.
A lap would get him there. So, Larry, what are the trends?
Well, what I'm looking at, the trends of 2022, and if you look at the first 6 races, the average of the final caution was 7 laps to go.
Buddy, it could be your day.
Oh, yeah, Truex. Yeah.
14 to go, and Byron's losing more time. 1.3. Yeah. Once they get to about 1 car between them, it's over. I don't think Chase has the grip to stay with him. Well, he's just going to blow by him because he's got fresher tires.
So he's ripping around trying to get past the 19. Then you got the 17 right here.
That's going to help Byron.
I really thought Hamlin would win. What Byron and Truex wouldn't mind is a caution, because then everybody just pit at the same time and they'd be up front. Down to a second. At this rate, Truex is going to catch Byron with about 7 or 8 to go. We're at 14 to go now.
Well, that's just it. You heard Jimmy McMurray talk about it. Catching him's one thing, making the pass on him's another. But I feel like it's a little bit different.
They're both dead on their feet right now. Hamlin down to 5 seconds.
I'm telling you, he made up 2 seconds in 4 laps.
Hamlin under 5 seconds.
You're passing some little better
I don't think he's going to go by Larson.
And if they look at Busher going under Corey, right in front of Truex.
Yesterday's Xfinity race came down to the final laps, and 2 teammates
I just need Hamlin to catch Truex, which is a legit possibility before Truex gets to Byron. All there now. It's under a second. 2 cars between Byron and Truex. Truex lost a lot of time off of 2 there. See that? Stuck behind Corey and J.J. Yaley. And 3 cars. Buscher's in the middle of that now. Although Buscher's really fast. Buscher's trying to get his lap back. He's got better tires. Hamlin, fastest car on the track. 3.5 seconds back. 11 to go. Like I said, Hamlin's going to just run out of time. Yeah. Hamlin to the inside of Larson. Come on. I'm actually cheering for Hamlin to make this pass on Larson. Hamlin's on average 3 miles an hour faster per lap. Truex has it down to half a second on Byron with 10 to go. Hamlin almost 2.5 back now. Yeah. Hamlin just got to dig. He might be able to do something if they fuck with each other. Now it's just Truex and Byron one-on-one. No cars between them. 9 to go. There's Hamlin. Hamlin's got it down to 2 seconds flat. That was another 0.6 that lap. Hamlin's going to fuck. I've decided Hamlin's going to win. Yeah. Harvick's only a couple tenths back from Hamlin. I'm back on the Hamlin's going to win bandwagon that I was jumping off of about 10 or 12 laps ago. I don't think Harvick's got anything for Hamlin, but he's fast. Yeah, God, if Harvick does get to Hamlin, it's good. Truex getting stuck here is going to kill him because Hamlin's going to be on him in about 2 laps. Hamlin's going to catch Truex in about 2 laps if he just doesn't get any pressure from Harvick behind him. There's Denny. It's the best thing for Byron right now is if Hamlin can get to Truex. 7 to go. This is actually exciting here at the end. Hey, look, Truex's crew chief just gave up. He knows because he sees Truex coming. Truex's crew chief just folded his arms and is huffing and puffing because Hamlin's there. Here comes Hamlin for second. He's going to get this big run off of 4 and cut down to the inside and go 3 wide on Truex. Oh, he's going to go to his outside. Hamlin blows by Truex for second. Lap car in his way, though. Harrison Burton. Hamlin's going to win the race. He's in front of Truex. Coming to 5 to go. God, the 21 won't get the fuck out of Denny Hamlin's way. Here comes Harvick. Harvick and Hamlin together have caught William Byron. Byron has no chance here. He's not going to concede, but he has no chance. 5 to go. Big run. Good God. Byron looked like he stopped off of turn 2. Hamlin to his inside. Pinch him down, Willie. Harvick's there. When did this race become good? Hamlin going to drive by down the front stretch. 4 to go. Denny Hamlin takes the lead. Here comes Kevin Harvick. Harvick to the inside. I think Hamlin and Harvick are so equal, I don't think Harvick's going to beat him. Harvick's clearly better than Truex and Byron, but he ain't going to beat Hamlin. They're too even. It's going to take a lap car or something. 3 to go. And now I think Hamlin's going to set sail. Like I said, him and Harvick are too even. 3 to go. God, I called that shit 50 laps ago and then got cold feet and backed off on it. I didn't think he'd gain 20 seconds or whatever it was. Lap car's going to hurt Harvick off of 2 here with 3 to go. Just a little bit. I know Harvick's driving harder than he's driven in about 3 years right now. Almirola's ahead of Hamlin, though. 2 to go, and you've got Almirola and Logano in front of Hamlin. 2 to go. He's going to catch a Stewart Haas car and Joey Logano. 2 to go. Oh, this is the worst that could have ever happened to Denny Hamlin. This is going to be a race right here. Look, right here into 3. Almirola and Logano in front of Hamlin. Look at Harvick arc the corner exit here and try to get a drive off. Oh, my Lord. This is the worst that could have happened to Denny Hamlin. White flag. Oh, Denny's diving in 3 wide. He's going to make the pass. Oh, man. I expected Logano and Almirola.
Almost dumped Joey trying to get out of the way.
Okay, so Hamlin powered by Logano and Almirola. I thought for sure that would help Harvick. Okay. Well, there you go. Denny Hamlin. Denny Damn Hamlin wins Richmond.
I'm happy for him.
That was a lot more dramatic than I thought it was going to be.
I'll say I'm happy for them.
I literally called that shit. When Byron didn't pit, I said, the fuck are you doing now? Hamlin's going to win.
That was the most impressive.
So maybe I'm not as bad of a crew chief as I thought, because every fucking thing I said today worked out. I'm like, do this, do that. What are you doing?
Was it Hamlin who told you can't win the Kentucky Derby on a three-legged mule? And here he is.
So Denny Hamlin just won in the midst of his worst season ever. Saved their season. And another different winner.
Did somebody ask if Denny was a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
I don't know many people that can make up
And
14 seconds.
fucking credit to his crew chief as well. What the fuck was Byron's guys thinking? Gave the race away. And then I thought Harvick's teammate was going to help him there at the end. Oh, man. That race ended at 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 43 seconds. Not bad. That was a bizarre race. That was weird. Hard to follow. But it must not have been too hard to follow because I had it figured out before the final pit stops.
To be able to turn it around, show up, and do business at their best racetrack.
Kyle Busch still got a top 10. Kyle Busch finished about where he was going to finish anyway.
Top 10 finish of the season. And then slid it and parked it.
Chastain 19th. Yeah, they fell off bad. Second half of that race.
He's going to be pumped. This is a big win for him.
That was a weird one. That was a weird one.
Perfect timing rolling into Martinsville for next weekend's race. Denny doesn't run too bad there either.
Let me be your crew chief. We'll fucking win these races, Dylan. I'm telling you. Byron's on the winning strategy, and they take him off of it halfway through the final, or on the final run.
Denny Hamlin, first off, Denny, where did you come from?
Yeah, it's just great strategy there, and just drove as hard as I could, and just so proud of this whole FedEx Camry team.
Welcome back to 2020. Hamlin and Harvick, 1-2.
There's no doubt in my mind, maybe just a little, but they got this car right there towards the end, and wow, it's just unbelievable.
Denny, it hasn't been an easy start to the season. Not even a top 10 through the first 6 races. What does this win mean to you, to Toyota?
What does this mean?
You're at your home track, of all places.
Yeah, I talked to you before the race. We needed a data point. We needed something, a good run to kind of balance ourselves.
They had speed. The strategy worked out, but they were fast enough to win anyway, because if he didn't win, Truex was probably going to win.
Look who's in victory lane. It's Denny Hamlin.
When I saw Truex's crew chief go, ugh, I was like, yeah, they know they're fucked. It became pretty apparent. Because it was like Truex hauled ass until he got to within 3/10 of Byron, and all of a sudden his shit just fell off a cliff. Worse than it already was.
One of our veterans today with a very strong run, Kevin Harvick.
Harvick looks happy as shit to finish second.
You were right there, just fell a little bit short.
Yeah, just really proud of everyone on our Mobile One Ford Mustang for just staying in there and having a great strategy and doing everything that they did all day. It's really the first.
Blame Rudy Fugle for William Byron not winning this race.
And had a shot there at the end. I wanted to be close enough with the white to just take a swipe at him, but yeah, the lap cars
I knew it.
got in the way, and I lost a little bit of ground. But
I thought the lap cars were going to get Harvick to him to do that. Oh, he was going to take a hit. He was going to hit him. And if Denny didn't do such a good job at diving under Almirola and Logano, he would have got there. The winning move was Hamlin going 3 wide with Almirola and Logano on the white flag. So, weird day, but it ended up okay. Yeah. The last run to the finish definitely saved the race.
NASCAR for the Kyle Busch call-out that fixed everybody's pit stops.
When you step into a new day.
It made Rudy Fugle forget what the fuck he was doing and give the race away.
Why is everybody pitting?
It's like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's your strategy. You're on that strategy. Like, why didn't they? Whatever.
Well, I guess what time we leaving Friday?
Well, the Xfinity race is Friday night, so I figure we leave here like, just noonish, maybe a little before, to get there and eat and everything, and stop by the hotel before we go. So yeah, I'll talk to you before then. See ya. I hate that I lost my shot at money because Joey Logano's jack, the thing got stuck. That killed his race, and then he was on the wrong strategy, and I said that from the very beginning of that final run. So yeah, confusing to follow, but I had it figured out. Even sleep deprived and not really paying attention, I can call a race. I sure can. I guess sometimes I'm crew chiefs, they can't see the forest through the trees. Like, they're in the bubble. We're outside the bubble. We have a different point of view. And I pegged it. I said, I think Hamlin's going to win. But then I was like, is he going to, though? Is he going to run out of time? But then when Truex stalled out 3/10 behind Byron, that's what did it. That's what got Hamlin there. That's all he needed. And the Kyle Busch penalty for the tape on the grill was just strange. The fact that they had it there for 200 laps before they noticed. I'm hanging around for another interview or two. Yeah, good for Hamlin. God knows they needed it. Trying to see what people think of that. That was a weird one. I guess lamest race of the year, but considering the good racing we've had this year, and they're at the end of that one, not so bad. There really hasn't been a bad race this year. The two weakest ones were Phoenix and then this one. But even they weren't bad. I won't say this race was bad. And at least it got over with quickly. Still, a cup race should not be ending at 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. Sunday evening, whatever. We'll get them next week, Michael. Which, hell, I'll be there on Friday and Saturday. But we'll get them next week, goddammit. I'm going to go watch Junebug win Martinsville. And I don't even want to make a prediction on the cup race yet. A lot of you guys showed up today. You kept the chat going all day. I appreciate that. How long is this commercial? I want to see more interviews before I get off here. I was considering just ending there, but I want to see how pissed off Truex is. Had that shit in the bag, or so they thought.
Congratulations to Coca-Cola Racing family driver Denny Hamlin.
Old Dennis, Sir Dennis of Hamilton.
Win for Toyota here in Richmond. Harvick second, Byron third, Martin.
Really thought Harvick's teammate and Logano were going to do him a solid there on the last lap.
Martin Truex Jr. strong all day long in the 19th car, battling at the end. You had the leader in your sights, and then the guys with tires came behind you. How frustrating is that to have so many strategies?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. That's part of it here. You know, it's part of the whole day. And obviously, we did good there for a while.
Might pick Truex to win Martinsville, maybe. I don't know.
Come this way a little bit. Yeah, I mean, James did a great job all day with strategy, getting us up front, getting us the lead. Our auto owners, Camry TRD was just super fast out front, super fast in clean air. You know, at the end there, I think we just tried to gamble and tried to gamble on beating the 24, and then he ended up doing our strategy, which we both screwed up. So, you know, obviously heads up the other way. I think we had the best.
I said Truex was fucked from the beginning on the strategy deal.
Our guys, and you know, obviously a big step in the right direction from Phoenix, and completely different mindset coming here. And after today, what we can do going forward. So excited about that. Just thanks to everybody at TRD Toyota and everybody back at JGR for working their butts off.
Very strong day for Martin Truex Jr.
Well, he did his job. He caught William Byron and passed him, and then came two drivers with fresher tires.
What an ending to this race, and it was
To be at the race that Junior comes back and wins, that would be a thrill for me. me personally.
That we saw last week in Texas, Dakota,
So that's why this is the.
this race, in my
It
opinion,
might be
was
the
one
only
of the
Xfinity race I go to this year. I'm going to go to a handful of Cup races, but this might be my only Xfinity race that I go to this year.
You have so many opportunities. The guy that won the race had 40+ laps less on his tires than the 24 did, and the 24 led to the last few laps. I mean, you just don't see that coming unless you're really paying attention to the race, and that's what makes these races so great and so much fun.
And it took until this win for Hamlin to pop up into the top 20 in the standing.
Tells you how bad he needed that win.
So he will go to Ruoff Mortgage Victory Lane.
Cindric, Larson, Bowman, Briscoe, Byron, Chastain, and now Hamlin.
Break the string of winners under 30 at 12.
Aw, our under 30 race win streak is over.
Well, we'll get ready for Saturday night.
But anyway, I'm out of here. WrestleMania starts in about an hour. I'm going to go watch that, and I'll see you guys Thursday night for the truck race. And then after that, I'm gone for a while, so come back on Thursday. Good night, everybody.